where we speak truth to power. Do apologize if I'm doing this impromptu. I need to just speak about democracy. You'll hear some things that we're going to say. So just bear with me. Just bear with me. 1 2 1 2. Yeah, you can hear me. Greetings and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'm going to share it to 1 or 2 places. Greetings and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Greetings to you all. Please share the broadcast. We're surely going to go live on TikTok as well. I needed to do this because it's something to. I got about an hour or so we will do that and talk. So join us as we go live. Let me just quickly move that one away so that everything is ready so you can see me. Greetings and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Let's go. So we're gonna do this now. So I'm gonna take this quickly. We're gonna do that. Okay. I'm sorry if it's difficult for me to tell when next I'm gonna be out on, but I try and steal when I can, a time when I can. Greetings and welcome. So we're gonna be going live shortly. But just bear with me and thank you for joining me. You're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We salute and we support Ibrahim Traore, and that is what our focus is really about. Yeah, so let's go here and let me see if I can make this work. Democracy is not for Africa, you know. Democracy is not for Africa. We're gonna put it there. Democracy is not for Africa. No to democracy in Africa. Yeah. In Africa. Yeah, that's it. Go live. Okay, so we're gonna do this now. Sorry if it's a bit squashed, but I'm gonna try what I can. Greetings and welcome. Roblox, Jeffrey Farside, I'm not interested in games. I'm just here to talk about particular issues. We are here to talk about Africa issues. You're welcome to join us. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. We're going to talk about democracy here, and it is really important to understand that it's not working for us on the African continent. Apologies if I have not been able to send you the broadcast, but I needed to do this pretty much on the fly. Greetings and welcome. Welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Can you hear me all right? Let me know if you can hear me all right. Sorry, hang on. You can hear me all right? Can you hear me all right? Hang on, let me just make sure I don't. Okay, sorry. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, I think I just want to bring the mic down. So, greetings and welcome to you all. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you very much for that, Jeffrey Faisal. We are just going to speak about Africa. And I want to play a video while we come along. But before I do that, let me start off, and I want you to join. As you're joining me, please subscribe, hit the notification button, give us thumbs up, help us reach more people. You are listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Africa is rising. Many people, hello from Texas. Hello, Voltage. Greetings and welcome. Yes, you're welcome. As you're coming in, please hit the thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Let us reach more people. We do need your support. Now, let me quickly do one thing here. I do have a song that I'd like you to download on Spotify or iTunes. It's called How Long Una Go to Suffer. I'm going to play a little bit of it, or you hear it in the background as I'm playing here, whilst I'm waiting for people to join me on TikTok also. So let me just quickly get that out for you. It's called How Long Una Go to Suffer. It really talks about the suffering of Africans in the current situation whereby they're depending on, handouts when they have the land of plenty. Africa is the richest continent in the entire world, so it shouldn't be happening. So, hang on, let me just make sure I get that down. So, I want to make sure. So, here we go. So, Melna here. So, that's a song that I wrote, and I'd like you to help me promote it. So, how long How long gonna go they suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? Yes, Africa is the future. It's the powerhouse. You're right. Jeffrey Faisal. How long gonna go they suffer? How long go? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? My people, we don't tire inside Nigeria. Now slave camp we dey oh. My people, we don't tire for the country where them they call Nigeria. Now slave camp oh. The time don't knock what we suppose. Stand up for our rights oh. Stand up for our rights oh. The time don't knock what we suppose. Stand up whoa, for our rights whoa, for self-determination. How long? How long, my people? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long you gonna go they suffer? How long go? Kole, did you used to work at Circle K down on Main? No, not Main. Suffer. Salam na fake man. One sec. Carry on. Come telling us still not get constitution. Na lie yo, na fake, na fraud. That yeah constitution. Close to na ayo. Me una wake up. Me una wake up. Oh. Moka berenio. I just they wonder. Moka berenio. I just they wonder. Moka berenio. I just they wonder. Moka. Sorry about that. 1 second. I was just pressing the wrong button. I just got a bit trigger happy, so go ahead. Berenio, they wonder. Moka berenio, I just they wonder. Moka berenio, I just they wonder. My people, I want make una no self-determination. Yes, so I want make una no self-determination. Oh, now you're right, yo. My people, I want make una know self-determination. Now you're right, yo. You must fight for your rights. You must stand for your rights. You must get up, stand up. You must tell your people for your village. I see. He works at the hotel. He's a janitor. No, that's not me. Atiku, Emiloko, Opeta Obi no be the solution. Now the solution now be the solution. Here we go. Make una wake up. Make una wake up. Time don't knock. You be Yoruba man. You be Biafran. I want make una know say self-determination. Now you're right, you. Hey, 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 ha! Yoruba land na your land yo. Middle Belt na your land yo. Hausa land na your land yo. Biafra land na your land yo. No be Nigeria. No be Nigeria. No be Nigeria. No be Nigeria. Ra 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 oh. Greetings and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. It's a pleasure to have you join us. We are very grateful for you being part of our broadcast. As ever, as you're joining, please subscribe to Citizen AY, hit the notification button, give us a thumbs up. And it's time now that we need to wake up and really help ourselves as Africans and really take control on our continent. We're not interested in doing anything outside of the continent. We're not interested in actually controlling what is happening, in other parts of the world. We just want to be in control of our sphere. And that for so long, many people have been controlling what is going on the continent. And we have said now, we say no more to that. We are now saying loud and clear, we are going to be in control on our continent. And there is not too much to ask to say that. We're not being braggadocious about it. We're just being factual about it. So as you're watching, what I'd like you to do for me is to tap on the screen, share the broadcast. Those of you on TikTok, tap and share this broadcast to as many people as you can, and help us reach as many people with this broadcast. It's really important to us, because what we want to do is to reach as many people as possible with the message we're sending. Democracy is not for Africa. It is just that simple. It is not for Africa. And there are a number of reasons why we state this categorically. If you look at what's been going on in many parts of Africa, you will find that everywhere they're practicing democracy on the African continent, it is only serving the needs of those who designed the system called democracy. Let me say that again. Everywhere that they practice democracy on the African continent, the system, it is only, somebody said there, Sam Oye Kwere, I hear you well. No Pharaoh, Bola Tinubu and Emperor, nye some wicked dynasty. No, I just thank God na just citizen. Everything na God go solve their problem. 24 hours prayers, 24 work time. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I want to know what country he's in right now. Myself, you want to know, I'm in the UK. If you're asking, I'm in the UK. But what I am saying right now is that I have, like many others, we have family. I have a lot of family back home. I have a lot of friends. I'm an African. You can see it. I can't hide it. This is it. This is I'm in my suit. I'm in my absolute wonderful suit, which I love. I love being a black person. I am proud of who I am, and I am not going to hide that. And that it means that I have connections, not just physical connections, but spiritual connections with people who are back home, and I want to see my country, my continent prosper. I want to see us benefit from our resources. I am tired of being in this situation where somebody's going to tell me, oh, Africa is that, and we cannot be a party to that anymore. And we got to stop all of that nonsense. We have to really, shape up and wake up and begin to take a lot of, steps to fix things. So the premise of the discussion today is that democracy is not working. And I started off by stating to you all that democracy is not designed to work in Africa. It is not, Why don't you back Africa, helping build Africa? Lisa, thank you very much for asking that question. Lisa says to me, listen, guys, I don't take any offense. If you are so proud of who you are, why aren't you back in Africa helping to build Africa rather than fleeing? Right. Very good question. I'm not fleeing. You don't understand the whole situation. What I am saying, by taking part in this process myself, by coming live on air, I am showing that I am keen to see a better Africa, and I'm working with people on ground and with teams. We've got different people all over Africa. And what we're trying to do is to pull all of this together so that we can begin to get Africa to function. Africa isn't functioning. And the reason Africa is not functioning, Lisa, is because the system that is controlling Africa is not controlled by Africans. You see? So Africa can never work. Many people, when you talk about Africans fleeing, we need to understand what conditions are on ground in Africa that is causing Africans to flee. Lisa, by the way, I'm so glad you asked that question. You've opened up something that we can actually discuss. No offense, you are right to ask a question, and I'm giving you a straight answer. The reason why many people have left Africa and gone to many people, not as much as in Africa, by the way, there are 1.3 billion people, and Africa is a continent. Just so you know that, Lisa, so you don't think Africa is one small, tiny, opinionated thing. You can put USA, Russia, India, China, and the whole of Western Europe in Africa, and there's still space left. That is how big Africa is. So I'm just trying to make sure you understand. When you say go back to Africa, the countries, the colonial countries, the UK, France, US, till as we speak, they are dependent on the resources of Africa. The problem has been many Africans have been told a lie about who they are. They've been made. Do you know that the Drew maps, the mercantile maps, was drawn to make Africa look smaller? Now, when I was going to school, this is a fact that I'm prepared to tell you. I went to school in Africa. When I went to school, the maps that they were showing of Africa was far smaller than the true scale of Africa. And what the impression that put in your mind was that Africa was not at the behest of everybody else to do as they please. We knew nothing. The story we were told about what it means to be Africa has been a spurious lie. We have been fed, generations of Africans have been fed spurious lie about Africa. That is the reality. And what we are trying to do here is to awaken us. So when you ask me that question, you are simply motivating me to really come and give you cogent answers. I'm not just here to just talk and spew hate and just scream and rant. We want to have intelligent discussion about a plan, about a way forward for Africans to know what is not working for us. For starters, the democracy, and I'm stating it, the democracy that is being practiced on the African continent right now is not meant to work for Africans. Anytime, if that democracy is working, it is only working for one set of people, and it's for those who created the system, the democratic system that is backed by financial system, that is backed by the religious system, that is backed by the educational system, that is backed by the business system. Everything is all interconnected, and it leaves the very people on the African continent who the resources belong to, it leaves them out of it. That is why democracy cannot work on the African continent. And going back to the question why I left Africa, like I said to you, many of us were under the illusion that Africa had nothing. We were fed lies about what we were reading Bible, we were reading the Quran, and we were told that Africa had nothing, that every part of the world had something, but Africa was poor. That is the conception that we've been made to believe, Lisa. So this is really important to understand that growing up, the conception, what was in my mind was this thing that Africa had nothing. Africa had nothing. Africa was just helpless, So this, Mama Africa, thank you. So these are the things that we now beginning to understand. And Ibrahim Traore said something, and Lisa, just so I'm just bringing on your name. I want to make sure you're there. So I don't want you to leave. I want you to understand when you ask a question, I'm giving you answer. Ibrahim Traore said something recently. He said, okay, you say we have nothing. Okay, you say you say we are poor. You say we are helpless. Why don't you leave? Why don't you leave Africa alone? Why don't you leave? But here's the thing. Those who are telling us that we're poor, they don't want to leave. I wonder why they don't want. Why don't they want to leave? Could it be because of the resources that we have? The minerals, like the gold, like the lithium, like the bauxite, like the cobalt, like so many resources that they have made us believe that we have nothing. And they are continuing to take those resources. I want you to know, everybody watching today, the NGOs, those non-governmental organizations, they are simply another arm of the governance of the Western system to ensure that Africa never uses or utilizes our own resources. That's the fact. Mama Africa, let me see if I can bring you on. I'll follow you as well. So this is, those of you watching, please share and tap if you do want to join the broadcast on TikTok and make one or two comments. I'm welcome, and I welcome that. But I just wanted to just state that Africa can never work. Oh, Miss Lady Linda, okay. Thank you very much. I'll bring you on. Let me just carry on for a few minutes. Linda, it's a pleasure to have you join us.
Grand rising.
Grand rising. So welcome on board. We're just talking about that Africa doesn't need democracy, and I'll bring you on. How are you doing? How's things?
I'm doing much better, and you sound all excited this morning.
Yes,
But
yes,
calm down. It's 8:30 a.m.
yes.
Too early to raise blood pressure.
Somebody asked a question and I felt I had to answer
I
them.
heard that question.
Okay, good, good, good.
And
Thank
it's
you.
okay. It's
Yeah,
okay. You know, you got the good,
yeah,
the bad, and the ugly.
exactly,
And they just haters gonna hate. That's what
exactly,
they do.
exactly. Thank you. Welcome.
So we could just keep the convo going
Thank you,
and
thank you.
let the haters do what they do.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. It's a
Now
pleasure.
about this democracy, my little 2 cents.
Yes.
In my humble opinion,
Mm-hmm.
we all have to look at this two-headed monster. You got those that are trying to get what Africa has.
Exactly, exactly.
Those are outside influences.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you got those that are put in positions with the keys to the vault with no kind of nobody questions them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when you see a leader buy a new castle,
Mm-hmm.
a plane,
Mm-hmm.
a fleet of cars, but I do understand that the powers that be that influence them
Mm-hmm.
encourages
Yeah,
that
yeah.
because they don't want to see
Mm-hmm.
Africa develop. They want it to stay where it is so
Mm-hmm.
they can keep their knees on their necks.
You got it.
So if you can use poverty and hunger as a weapon, you can put an overseer there
Mm-hmm.
and pay them well
Mm-hmm.
to do that,
Mm-hmm.
which is what's happening in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
Then that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going straight over to the mighty three, the Sahel States.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
my God.
Yep.
An example of what could be if all of the leaders of all 54 of these countries
Mm-hmm.
would stop the madness
Mm-hmm.
and get on board.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Indeed.
could be a wonderful, wonderful thing. Every day
Mm-hmm.
I look to see what has he done today because
Mm-hmm.
he does something every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something fantastic
Absolutely.
for the people of the country, not himself.
Mm-hmm.
No jets for self.
No.
No castles for self.
Absolutely
No raking in all the money and hiding it somewhere.
Indeed. Indeed.
Out amongst the people, finding out exactly what you need,
Exactly.
what do you want,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then providing it.
Mm.
I don't know why the rest of them don't go somewhere and just hang their head in shame
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because they're doing scandalous things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's exposed them.
Exactly. Exactly.
However,
Linda, quick one. I don't want to. I want to try and. Can you tell me one or two things that you've had him do recently? So just to so I can carry on a little bit. But
oh my God, so many things. Okay, let's see. He did the factory for the because there's lots of factories and that's producing jobs. So when people yeah, there are a lot of countries where people are having a problem. You have no job. So you're stuck in poverty. You have no jobs. But the detergent, the flour, the new car,
yeah.
the jets. Let's see. The last one I heard was more money for teachers and healthcare workers for their pensions.
Exactly.
The list goes on. He's been there a couple of years.
Yeah.
And that's 365 days a year, 64 rather. But for 2 years, that's a lot of stuff every day.
Indeed.
Every day.
Indeed. So Linda, thank you very much for that. Just I'll come in there. Thank you. A round of applause for what Linda said there. I was trying to make sure that all of us understood that what Linda is saying is absolutely right. the pace of development in Burkina Faso is frankly dizzying. I mean, it is dizzying. Do you know that he's made birth just yesterday? He made an announcement that every woman in Burkina Faso, they will get childbirth cost taken care of by the state. It's free. It is free. Free for the women who are pregnant. If you're pregnant, you don't need to pay a penny, because he said you are bringing life to our country. So the least we can do is to give you the space, the opportunity, the chance to bring that life to life, that life to, life safely for us, because you're actually working for us, and that's how he values women. That is just one thing. He talked about, there are so many things this guy is doing. You don't know the picture. There was a picture that he's got where he's got all of the tractors, mobile hospitals, the dump trucks, all of the big equipment that they needed for building the country. He brought them into one big place, and he gave the keys to each of the ministers. You're responsible for mobile hospitals, you're responsible for the farmers, you're responsible, and he gave them the keys, like a symbolic handover. Now the work begins. Now, how many African leader has done that? How many? I'll wait. None. The answer is none. He's the only one. And the others who are doing the same thing, again, a quick salute to Ibrahim Traore and Assimi Goita, who you see behind me, and General Chiani. Salute to them, and again, a round of applause to the work that they are all doing. It's really important that we acknowledge them. And they are doing all of this. This work is being done in the absence of democracy. Did you hear me right? Let me say that again. For those in the back, for those of you in the back on the hall, at the back of the hall, the work that's been done in Burkina Faso, in Mali, and in Niger is being done in the clear absence of democracy. There is no such thing as democracy. Democracy, I put it to everybody watching now, is a bedrock of corruption, oppression, suppression, extortion, and all manner of unaliving. That is what is going on. Let me quickly bring in African Revolution so we can hear from them as well. Please tap and share. On the screen on YouTube, we say here, democracy is not for Africa. Do you agree? Yes or no? And I'll give your answers as to why you don't agree. It's on the screen right there. You can answer me. African Re-Evolution, greetings and welcome to you. You're listening to Citizen LY, the platform where we speak truth about. Go ahead. Let's hear from you. Go ahead.
Good evening.
Greetings.
Good
greetings.
afternoon.
Welcome, my brother. Welcome. Pleasure to have you join us. What would you like to say?
If we are talking about these
Democracy.
obsession, I would call it like an obsession for
Yes.
Democracy when coming to Africa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think we have to understand that democracy is something, first of all, is not even in place here in the West,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, because what we have is an illusion of democracy.
Thank you.
And more importantly, even if we want to achieve the kind of democracy in the sense of, for example, to have free elections or to have full freedom of for the press and something like that,
Mm-hmm.
you can't ask for that in a situation where there is a war in the country. I see martial law imposed for way less urgent needs. Let's start with the pandemic of 4 years ago, 5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and also for, I don't know, you will see recently in previous weeks what's happening in Turkey when that mayor was arrested, who was the major opposition for Erdogan.
Yes.
And they imposed martial law because people were protesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Imagine in a country where there is a war,
Mm-hmm.
you need to have to be stringent to many things.
Exactly.
First of all,
Exactly.
excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead.
And even in countries, African countries that
Mhm.
are not currently in war,
Mm-hmm.
to have democracy in a system where which is not designed for democracy. We have presidents and history of elections and so on.
Indeed.
And we know that there are so many things that happens in elections in Africa, like paying for the people to vote for you with bags of rice or directly money or something like that. And we are not in a system where we are in charge. The people is not in charge of their countries in Africa. It's not even true here in Europe. Imagine in Africa where the entire economic system and the place reserved for Africa in the global economy is at the bottom ladder of the hierarchy. It's a colonial system which is designed to serve the interest of the big capitalists, the multinationals, and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And investment funds. And if you see also, for example, the police forces or the armed forces of African countries, they came from the nucleus who were the colonial armies.
Exactly.
So they are structured not to defend the people, but to defend the interests of outsiders from the people. This is their reason that their structure is based on that.
Exactly.
The function that they are performing even today in 2025 is still that.
It is.
And in an environment like that, we cannot imagine that we can skip all the other more urgent things to be solved and go straight to democracy. First, we have to address, as I previously stated many times, for full sovereignty over our economies first. Full sovereignty for food production.
Fantastic.
We need full sovereignty over our energy, which is just produced to be exported.
Exactly.
We have to have technological sovereignty in order to produce and add value over our vast natural resources. Vast natural resources who need to be nationalized and kept away from greedy hands of multinational companies.
Well said.
Which have only profit in their mind. So they don't care if they are sending children into the mines or if it is causing pollution to the environment and causing harm to the people. Because they are not in line with the interests of the people.
Exactly.
What we need is to take power, because we do not have to wait for a savior, like a leader or a responsible leader, something like that.
No.
It is on us that we have to take power, actually, and put someone of the people who have the interest of the people even before his own life. This is the kind of people that we have to put in place. And then that kind of administration, if it nationalizes our resources, it will use the revenues of these nationalized resources for the benefit of the people. They will try to add value to get even more revenue for the people. This is what we have to achieve.
Thank you.
Then we can start talking about democracy. And also, we do not have to. And we do not have to just copy the style of democracy that the Western imported into our continent. I see something like what we have to agree is not to choose a candidate or something like that. We have to choose a strategic program. And maybe there are, I don't know, many parties or several individuals. I don't know the shape that it will take. But we have to focus on their programs. I will say that even when they present their during the electoral campaign, they have just to present their strategy, their program, even without knowing who is behind that program.
My brother, African Revolution.
Program.
One second. Listen, would you mind holding for a second? I need to just answer somebody. I'm writing some points down about what you said. First of all, I want to say, wow. This is the kind of discussion that I love. Please keep in mind, I want to just answer something because they're saying some spurious things that we need to hear. So let me just quickly say that. Come back to you. Thank you so much. Please, everybody continue to share. Somebody on here, the three holds moment. said, he said, you know, I'm not offering solutions. I'm only saying that democracy is not working. We are offering solutions on this platform. You just had African Revolution. He said, the first thing we need, we're not interested in security and in democracy. We need our own food security. We need our own power sovereignty. We need security. We need strategic program. These are cogent plans we're talking about. You know, so when you come on here and you say to me, oh, we're just saying, we're just talking and we're not offering solutions. These are real solutions. And what Ibrahim Traore is doing right now. Thank you very much, Pro Africa, for the gift. Please continue to tap and share. What Ibrahim Traore is doing right now, he's done exactly what African Revolution said. The first thing he did was firstly to provide security. You see, without security, he can't do anything. He's secured. Look, listen, I need you to understand this. In the so-called democracy that the French was running, the people of Burkina Faso were not in control of they were only in control of barely 40% of their land. Listen and learn. Threshold moment. Listen and learn. In the democracy that there was being tried to be put in place under the French, who were providing so-called military protection, the Burkinabes were not they were only in control of barely 40% of their land. Guess how much they're in control of now under Ibrahim Traore? 70 to 80%, and it is growing every day. It is growing every day. So democracy is not solving the problem of the people of Burkina Faso or the people of Mali or the people of Niger or anybody in Africa. Democracy is benefiting those who created those systems. I state that clear, loud and clear. So let us be very clear. When we are talking about this and somebody comes here and you're making some, it's not, I agree house is, okay, it says, the other guy says, I agree house, better, burger, okay. Oh, I don't know about burgers. I'm not interested in all that. No, what I am here to state, and I'm very, very clear about it, is that we in Africa, it is time, it is our continent. We must decide what kind of system we want. It is no longer acceptable for somebody who is in Europe or in the US or in Canada or in Australia to dictate terms to us upon which we will be living our lives. This is back to the days. What is going on now, the same system that is being used to run Africa now, is the same system all the way back to the Cecil Rhodes era, when they did the Land Appropriation Act, where they took away the land from the people. And then they said that they're going to make sure that Africans will know that their place in the system is to be laborers in their own land for the rest of their lives. And we cannot accept that anymore. It is not acceptable. We cannot do this anymore. And I have the evidence of what I'm saying, because Ibrahim Traore said it. He said, no more. You tell us that our land, that we are poor. You tell us that we have nothing. You tell us that we are what? Nothing. Well, what are you doing on our land? Please explain to me, what are you doing on our land? And now, if you think that we are poor, leave us be. He is growing. Let me tell you, on the issue of poor, let us be very clear. In 2 years, Burkina Faso has grown food that they have never ever grown in over 40 years. They're growing rice, they're growing onions, they're growing flour, they're growing tomatoes, they're growing the soil is so fertile. Whereas under the so-called democracy that the French was imposing on them, there was famine. They weren't allowed to feed. Farmers couldn't go to the farms because the insurgents were all over the place destroying it. They didn't want them to know what they had. In Burkina Faso, they've recently found that the Russians found that they have over 50 billion tons of oil. So if the French were still there, the people of Burkina Faso would never know what they have. Meaning that democracy hides from Africans their resources. You heard me say it, and I state it again. Democracy hides the resources belonging to Africans from Africans, all in the name of a system that is denying Africans their resources. That can no longer stand. I'm saying this without any emotion of anger or hate. I'm stating facts. And those are the facts that are being put out there, reiterated, and demonstrated by the actions of Ibrahim Traore. Salute to the great man. Salute to him. This is what we're saying. And by the way, again, Threshold a moment said military junta. No, it's not military junta. What they are doing, what Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are doing is called intellectual realignment. Take it or leave it. As defined by Dr. Arikana Shombori Kwao. She is the strong advocate for Africa. She was part of the African Union as a representative in diaspora in America, I believe. And she's been talking about this. So that is the term you should be using. If you are not African and you don't want to use it, that's up to you. We Africans, we know what is being done. If you cannot build any system. We cannot build any system if there is no security. So what Ibrahim Traore, again, I salute him, and I want to say, because I just want to chair, what he has done, he's understood that if you are going to create a long-lasting peace and tranquility on the African continent, you need security. And you have to be in control of that security. That security cannot be in the hands of foreigners. Because anytime your security is in the hand of a foreigner, you are no longer sovereign. Your sovereignty is in serious doubt. Your sovereignty is in serious doubt. And this is what we are here to say. And we state it categorically. I restate it. Bring anybody that you want. The best professor in terms of any qualification you care to mention. And we can talk about the democracy. And I will tell you in clear certain terms to make you understand that democracy in Africa has never been meant to work for Africans. It has been made to keep Africans at the bottom of the ladder using puppets. And I call them puppets. There's a president of Senate in Cameroon. I'll see if I can get the video of what I'm talking to you. And he is 90 years old. The president of Senate in Cameroon. Now we know that Cameroon is in control of is being controlled by those who run the government. They're not in control of anything, So we are saying what they are doing, the evidence of what, they're building roads in Burkina Faso. They're building schools. They're building hospitals. Now the women are being given free healthcare in Burkina Faso. And this is devoid of this so-called democracy. Now, please don't get me wrong. Democracy can work if that's what people want to do in Europe. That's fine. In fact, I advocate for it. But when you've seen for over 40 years in Burkina Faso, in Mali and Niger, the democracy has impoverished the people. I'm sorry, we cannot continue to support that system on the African continent. We say a categorical no to it, and we say that confidently because we've seen the records. We've seen the records of failure after failure. And then you have in Cameroon, for example, Bila, is it Bila? No, I've forgotten his name. He's been the president for over 30, 40 years in that place. And there is no development. But they keep telling you the system, believe the system, believe the system, believe. It is not working. And that is why we are supporting the man you see in the picture, Ibrahim Traore. Salute. I'm not an army officer, so I'm not going to. Yeah. Go ahead. Say.
I love you, three guys. We don't hear much from two of them, but that's okay. They have a spokesman, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
But if I came to your house claiming to help you, I'm not going to use that word you love so much, the one that starts with D. But I come to your house and say that I came to help you.
Yeah.
And I stayed there for 80 years, 40 years, 20 years. But never did I provide any help. But what I did was look around to see valuables.
Yeah.
and started taking the valuables, all still claiming to help you. You're hungry. I don't care. I'm here for valuables. And I just keep taking valuables. And you say one day, okay, that's enough. I don't want your help. The one thing you're going to need to do is put me out. I'm not wanting to leave on my own because
Exactly.
I've been taking valuables for a long time and I want to continue. So I'm not going to leave peacefully. You're going to have to force me out.
Yeah.
Which is what he did. With force, he put them out and is keeping them out and staying safe and keeping the people of the country safe.
Yes.
Now we understand what happened a long time ago when the people decided to come in, because all this thing about poor, because I just don't see Africa as poor. I see it as being mighty wealthy. However, they got all these people in the house stealing.
That's it.
And they're going to put them out. They got to go.
Exactly. No.
If the people still there stealing everything, of course you're going to stay poor. They're stealing everything. I don't even like using the words. I like to come straight. Say what it is. They're over there stealing. So they're taking everything and telling a bunch of lies. Oh my God, the lies on top of lies.
Exactly.
While the stealing was going on, the whole purpose of those people being there was to guard the gold mines so they could keep stealing. Okay, so now that they have stolen enough to enrich themselves and they got put out, looking at 3 countries, the others ought to be taking notes. Oh, that's what's been happening. But it's not like a surprise. They know. They work with them.
Yeah.
When I talked about the 2-headed monster, they work with them. But they only understand. So the leaders are also stealing.
Yeah, Linda, thank you so much for what you just said now. I got to comment. Somebody's writing something on here. They're saying that, they're saying to me, I came to UK to benefit from whatever it is offering, but Africa is so much better. Why did he go? Why did he go to the UK? Then he says that I'm not going to answer. I don't want to answer questions that I don't. I don't want to. What did you say again? I don't have any alternative democracy. And I don't know what planet the guy is on. It's called threshold moment. I don't know what planet you're on, but on this planet that we're on, I am saying, and I've just given you examples, and you've had Linda say it, that under this democracy that you espouse so much, it is a way to steal resources from the African people. That is the fact. And if you,
I wish you would stop calling that democracy.
it is not, but what I mean is on the African continent. I understand. Like I said, I did say that in Europe, that's fine. But what it's doing on the African continent is the damage. So and they want to continue. I mean, for example, Trump now is trying to get the DRC president Shesheki to sign a deal that it says minerals for security. So so that the US will come and provide security to the people of DRC while they take the mineral resources out.
These are the things.
And they're saying, oh, the democracy and what they will tell you, and this is what I mean. So I'm giving you.
What kind of democracy is that when you just keep coming to my house stealing my stuff?
There you go. So he's now saying to him, oh, and they put that to the people. Oh, you are democratic. You elected the man, but now he's working on your behalf. No, he's not. He's working for the puppet. They forced him, strong-armed him to sign that document and say, look, you know what? You sign this document, we take the resources. And that we're saying it is not right. It can't be wrong. People, millions should not be suffering when the resources that rightly belong to them has been extracted using this same fault system called democracy, at least on the African continent. And that is the debate. That's the debate that we
If
are
the
having.
leaders would at least do a little something for the people. But when you just have a brown overseer, I'm going to go ahead and call it a coconut because they brown on the outside, but they white on the inside. And they're working
I know what you mean.
With these people, the oppressors, I'm going to call them, because this ain't got nothing to do with democracy. This is straight theft.
Yeah, I hear you, Linda. I hear you. But like I said,
all this stealing is done by everybody. It's done by the coconut.
Yeah, exactly.
It's done by the oppressor. And all I can see that will fix this is to do what Ibrahim and the Sahel States did. You can't clean your house and gather your things back up when you got all these thieves running all around you all the time. Everybody on the entire continent needs to put them out.
Exactly, I agree.
Put them out by force.
Yeah.
Get some alliances like the Sahel States did to help you remove them.
Exactly. Well said.
And secure your own resources.
Thank you.
You set the price.
Yeah.
You mine it.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Don't let these people come in.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for that, Linda. Thank you very much. Let me quickly go to Pro-African because he's waiting to speak. And I want to say thank you very much to him. Pro-African, thank you for taking the time with it. And thank you for the gift as well.
Salute you.
Thank you.
I'm going to work.
So
I salute you, but thank you for letting me to speak.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome, my brother. Yeah, yeah, you can be in the background and carry on. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. A round of applause to African Revolution. Thank you. Okay. So, Panaf, I'll bring you back. Greetings. Welcome. What would you like to say? Let's hear from you.
Greetings, my big brother.
Greetings.
And I want to say thank you for the wonderful work you're doing. We're saying it, and we applaud you for it.
Thank you.
And we are happy with our great heroes. At least they are the three people who are representing us as far as I'm concerned.
Indeed.
Yes, we are seeing some other elements who are still trying to push up, but we're still watching them. But they can't come to the rank of the top 3 generals now that are doing Africa proud.
Yes.
We're watching the lives of Senegal's president and South Africa's opposition, Julius Malema. We're watching them. We know they are making strides, but the top 3 generals, yes, we don't hear from 2, we hear from 1 mostly, but we know that the others, they are following him, and he is his spokesman among them.
Yes.
You know, the difference is clear. There is no comparison. You can't compare anything here. In a short period of 2 years and some months, you could see the transformation in Burkina Faso. They are making EVs, bro. EVs. That is the future of automobile. That is the future of movement, transportation, EVs.
My brother, one sec. My brother, one sec. Let me just quickly say this. I want you all to listen to this. Hold on to that thought. I'll come back to you quickly, Pro-African. So somebody saying, what system are they proposing to replace democracy? What is your alternative governmental system? You are seeing it in motion. But Ibrahim Traore is showing you the system. The system that we want is one that stops corruption. But go ahead, answer that question, actually. Yeah, go ahead. Carry on.
Please, don't let, there are people you shouldn't let distract you.
Well said.
I see them as agents.
Yes.
They are being placed there to slow the movements down, to try to confuse the gullible minds. What is democracy? It's demonstration of grace.
Yes.
If it has worked in Europe, fine. It didn't work in Africa.
Thank you.
It has never worked, and it will not work.
Thank you. Well said.
What we are seeing right now is what we appreciate. Look at can you compare Burkina Faso now to Nigeria in any way? And what do they practice in Nigeria? Is that the democracy they want us to be practicing? Come on, there are some comedians you shouldn't listen to.
Yeah, true.
They just want to waste your time. They are bringing debates without points, without pros. That is what they are just bringing. They just want to come and talk. I believe they are paid agents. They are not helping us in any
They're
way.
trolls.
Yeah.
Trolling to throw the whole conversation off topic. Let them go.
Yeah, that is what they are doing.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And a pro-African, and thanks for answering that. So I'll give you a few more minutes because I'm going to go to Panaf. But let's say a few more words, then I'll go to Panaf. Foods, we're also waiting. Thank you so much for that.
You know, in everything, we're going to support this movement with all we got. And I will tell every reasonable and thinking African youth to always do everything to support it and cut out anybody at any given point that wants to say anything contrary to this. Because I saw Woody Maya was here a few days ago in Burkina Faso. He went to go and check the new EVs and all that. You could see the amazing job. Who could have thought that anything like that would come out of Africa in the next 20 years? But it is happening today.
Wow.
And I want us to be clear on one thing. You think they're going to be happy when we are not competing with them?
Yeah.
You think they're going to be happy? What they never imagined that we are not doing it. It is now clear to us that they are actually our problem. Because look at it from a different perspective. You come to my land, you take minerals, uranium for a great example by France. You buy it for 80 cents. And the actual market value is over 280 euros. Does that make any sense?
No, it doesn't.
You take it for 80 cents. 80 cents.
Yeah.
And you go and sell it over 250 euros because it's close to between 250 euros to 280 euros per gram. So you take it for let's imagine you were buying it for 200 euros and you made 50. Then we could know that we are doing business. But this one, there is no business there. You are just stealing it openly. And people will still come and say democracy. Where is it? There's nothing there. We shouldn't be using that word again. It's a demonstration of grace. And we have said that we are not peace people and we don't want to continue in that alignment anymore. We'll find a better alternative. That is what is happening in Sahel. And every reasonable African leader will look for a way to break out of whatever shackles that was on their neck from the colonial masters and join the moving train that will liberate the whole of Africa.
Ashe.
Because this is where liberation will come from. Not the other thing they've been practicing for close to 70 years that they said they brought independence and we didn't see nothing.
Exactly. Well said.
As I said, Nigeria got independent, Dubai got independent. Look at Dubai today. Is there a comparison in any way? So what are we not talking about? That we have never really been independent in any way. They should leave us. If you don't control your security, you don't control your economy, you don't control your food, then what do you have? What have you? You have nothing.
Yes.
You can't even feed yourself.
You can't
make the kind of food you want. You have to import everything. You can't refine your minerals. You can't mine your minerals. Then what have you? You have nothing.
Exactly.
Just look at what is happening in DRC now. They've been doing all the unaliving of our people there for ages. And look at what Donald Trump is offering. It tells you that they are actually the ones behind it.
Thank you. Wow.
Any reasonable person would know, so you want to come and do this here for you to, is this what you have to offer? It means you're actually the one behind it. Because are they not buying it? And they know the source where it's coming from? Have they not been buying it?
Well said.
We know we have a lot of betrayers in our continent, but time will feed them out. Nature will feed them out, and they will be out of the system.
Thank you.
It's happening gradually.
Thank you so much.
Look at what Rwanda has been doing. You guys know that Rwanda doesn't have those minerals, but you are buying it from them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then it means you are the ones sponsoring the whole movement that has been causing insecurity in Africa.
Well said. And these are points.
It still surprises me that some people will still don't want to understand this, or they are still having any form of siding with the oppressors. I still don't get it. I just not see them as agents.
Exactly. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank
From
you.
your
Thank
first
you. What?
line of statement,
Yeah.
I already categorize where you belong.
Yeah,
Are you for
exactly.
our liberation,
Or
or you are here to continue
yeah.
the suppressing and the looting that has been happening on this continent?
Well said. Let me
Can I
let
make
me
a
let me come
public
back to you.
service announcement
Yeah,
now?
quickly. Thank you very much for that, Pro African. I'll come back to you. Let me go to Panaf, but Linda, go ahead, make the announcement, and then
I
you
just
can.
want to ask everybody if we can get these
Sorry, 1 second. Okay, carry on.
up to 100. There are only 8 people in the room. This is a very important conversation, and we need as many people here as possible. So if everybody here could share to your friends, to your enemies, and everybody else in between, just share the live. And for those in the chat, only those in the chat, tap up the screen. Let's get the likes up as well, because this is a great convo.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Thank you
for letting me share that little bit.
Thank you so much, Linda. Thank you for the great work. That's one of our mods, and she really does do the work. And I can't thank her enough. Thank you very much, Miss Linda and LJ. It's so important that we carry on, and we appreciate the work that you're doing. She doesn't just do it on my platform. She's all over, helping other platforms, so we appreciate her and others as well. Let's carry on. Thank you. Panaf, thank you for waiting. Thank you for understanding. Let's hear from you. What would you like to say? Welcome on board.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I don't know if you hear me. Actually,
loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm a French speaker. I'm sorry if my English is not so good.
It's good. We hear you. We understand you.
I will try to do my best to make you understand. I have written something in French, so I will make the translation so I can tell you what I think about democracy. So, dear brothers and sisters, today more than ever, our continent stands at a decisive crossroad. The chain of neocolonialism, disguised under the mask of democracy and cooperation, are suffocating our people. So, plundering our resources and imposing puppet leaders beholden to foreign powers, these corrupt local proxies, disconnected from our reality, serve neither our interest nor our dignity. They perpetuate a mafia-like system where our raw materials are sold at rock-bottom prices, while our population remain trapped in poverty and servitude. The alliance of a state of Sahel, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger now embodies resistance against this oppression. Captain Ibrahim Traore reminds us of an essential truth. The Western imported democracy is nothing but an illusion. It divides, manipulates, and legitimizes exploitation. By withdrawing from ECOWAS, ECOWAS, a tool of hijacked by France, our nation have struck a blow against this deadly system. The nationalization of Niger uranium, stolen from decades by the French company Orano, at 0.18 per kilo.
Yes.
0.18 cents per kilo. While its true value reach $215.
Wow.
Has exposed the world of the reality of organized pigging, meaning robbing.
Yes.
France, whose economy depends on this predation, now trembled. Proof that our struggle is just. Our struggle, our fighting is a real struggle. Macron himself has admitted France's prosperity relies on the unjust exploitation of Africa. For Europe to shine, Africa must remain on its knees, divided and weakened. Recent destabilization tactics, terrorism, economic pressure targeting the AAs are disparate attempts to regain control. France fear or unity for it to know that sovereign Sahel will spell the end of its hegemony. I don't know, guys, if you understand me when I'm reading.
We understand you loud and clear, and a round of applause. A round of applause to you from here. I want to. You spoke. It's captured. And for those in the back, in the chat in YouTube, I hope you heard what he said. I hope he answers the question about the alternative.
Perfectly.
So to all brothers,
Just
Anglophone speakers,
thank you.
So I am now I have a message to all Anglophone speakers.
Please go ahead.
This fights, the silent fight is for us. The borders dividing us are colonial scales, drawn to slip us apart. Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso are not fighting solely for the Sahel, but for every African nation still in chain. Join us. Let us break the mental checklist that makes us despise our language, cultures, and shared interest. The EAS is not regional alliance. It is spark of Pan-African revolution. Yes. African liberation will come through our unbreakable unity, or rejection of international handouts, and our courage to reclaim control of our resources. To those who doubt, look at the bravery of the Sahel youth, ready to die for dignity rather than survive to their needs. People of Africa, rise up. This is no time to words, but for action. Let us support the IS, demand an end to unequal treaties, and build together a future where Africa is the master of its destiny. So I will add something, but it will come in my mind. It's been a long time I watch your lives, so I see that there are no our brothers in Nigeria. They have to come in this live and try to talk about the geopolitical issue, because we in Sahel we understood what happened. We know what is geopolitics, what the UN European camps, the Westerns come. We know what they want. So we are not going to fall down in their when they are telling us, because we know that they are liars. We know that they don't need Africa to grow up, because when we grow up, the European will immigrate to Africa. They will come to seek for a job. They will come to work for us, because when you go to the back, African people, they are from the women of Africa. They are all queens. The men of Africa, they are all how do you call it, kings. They have, when God created a black man, He gave him everything. Oil, gas, everything. We didn't ask something. When we were created, everything God gave it everything. And the Western people, they don't have nothing, so they depend on us. So they need to keep us in our position of poverty, so they can develop their countries. And when we try to have people like Ibrahim Traore, who is telling us the truth, they know he's not Democrat. You should make election. You should do this. You should do this. This is not the truth. Since we get our independence, since they divided our countries, haven't seen the people of Africa are suffering. We don't need this kind of democracy. We need a kingdom. We don't care about that. I need Ibrahim Traore to be the king of Africa, so he can build Africa. When we need to travel, we can travel. When you touch a black man in the world, we will show you that you should not do that, because we are the kingdom. We are the kings and queens. Okay, wow. So we have everything. We just need someone who understood what we need, so we can build the companies in Africa. So every African can go back to Africa, can invest to Africa. Ibn Traore has said that when you want to invest in Burkina Faso, if someone tell you to pay something, you can come to the presidential when he's leaving.
Yes.
There are an office, so you can complain there. They will seek for the guy who tell you to pay. They will keep him and put him in the jail. That means there are no corruption now in Burkina Faso.
Exactly.
They are
Exactly.
trying to kill him.
Yes. Yes.
They are trying to kill him. Last week they
F1.
Say unalive. Say unalive. Don't use that word.
Okay,
yes.
so
Thank
I'm
you.
so sorry.
Yeah. F1, everybody.
They have tried to unalive him last time, not in 2 weeks. Because of what? Because I'm telling you something. Mali or Burkina Faso and Niger, when they are united and they get out from ECOWAS, they have put enough problem in France economy. France economy depends on in this country. ECOWAS, if you see ECOWAS is only 2 countries. Mali, Burkina, Niger. Nigeria is something else. But if you see the 13 countries, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, and Togo, Benin, and so Mali and Burkina Faso is biggest country than this country, and they have the most minerals. So France need this country to be in ECOWAS. And when the IOS went to Russia last week, the minister of Niger said that they will get out from France CFA. You know what it means? It means France CFA will go down, will be very low.
Exactly.
And France, they don't need this kind of ideas. And Russia is helping Mali and Burkina to get out from
under the
France CFA, because France CFA is colonialist money.
Facts.
They
Facts.
impose our money. If
Facts.
you use France CFA, you cannot
Facts.
Make business with another country.
Facts.
You take your resources, give it to France, and France go and buy your resources and bring you France CFA. So you cannot develop your country.
Exactly.
They should be like Nigeria, have their own money, but the opposite of Sahel and Nigeria, the Sahel state, they are free to collaborate with country they want. They are free to buy guns if which country they want. They are free. They don't want.
Please say pew pew. Say pew pew. Don't use GUN.
Pew pew.
Yes, thank you.
TikTok friendly language, please.
I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. So if I was speaking in French, I would be better than this. I know that.
But
you're trying to.
You're doing fantastic. You're doing fantastic. Thank you so much.
I will stop here, but you guys understand. I know that you understand what I'm saying. Maybe someone else have.
Absolutely. We understand you. We understand you. Perfectly. Thank you so much. Let me.
Well, thank you so much for giving me these 2 words. Thank you so much.
No. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I will go down and tap the screen and share the live.
Thank you.
Thank you, LJ.
Thank you
so much. Thank you for Africa.
Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much, my brother. The guy that just left now. I can't see his name. Oh, is it Panaf? Yes, I can't. Panaf. Thank you so much, Panaf, for that. You all heard what he said. There's not one word I would disagree with there. Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate that. And it tells us I don't need to explain anything more. For those of you in the back in the YouTube that you may not have heard what he said, I think you had. I don't need to explain anything more about why what Ibrahim Traore is doing now is an alternative to democracy. And whether you agree with it or not, it is working for Burkina Faso. It is working for Niger. It's working for Mali. So we'll stick with that. Thank you very much. Thanks, but no thanks. Yeah. So let us go to Pamper Me. Welcome. Welcome.
So what's going on with those people over there in YouTube?
I think they have a whole group of them. They're trying to to derail this, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Oh, the troll group is over there.
They're way over there, yeah. But let's go to Pamper Me. Go ahead. Thank you. Welcome. What would you like to say? Pleasure having you join us. Thank you for waiting as well.
Thank you for for having me. I've always joined your live with my other account.
Oh.
But I decided to use this one today.
Okay.
Everything is all clear. Everything is all clear. The only people that will play blind eyes, or how do I say it, to this are those people that I feel they are benefiting from this democracy. I mean, the top people.
Mm-hmm.
They know the truth. They know what we can do to liberate Africa. Understand? But they just don't want to. Example, those people you're saying on YouTube there. Yes, and I'm sure they can hear me. You all know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But because you're benefiting from this so-called stupidity, democracy, that's why you guys don't want to come out, complain. That's why you guys don't want to work together for us to be better. And I just wish and I just pray one day that we get it right. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are on the way. You're right. There are people who are planning for this for not to work, but we see them. And the lights. On what, just on that particular point. Do you know that Ibrahim Traore said they got 113 people, 113 people, top-ranking officials in Burkina Faso that were working with the colonials, that were trying to pass message, and they've got those men and women, and they've managed to stop the funds, that the access to the funds that they are using to cause havoc. So this is not about Traore. I keep saying it. It's about the system. So this thing that they call democracy on the African continent is designed to keep us completely enslaved. So we need to free ourselves. Yes, you go ahead.
Those 100 and something people.
Yes.
Some of them are in the system. Some of them are in Nigeria, Ghana. They're all over the place.
All over. Yes.
And all plotting and scheming. I don't understand. Why with these coconuts?
Selfishness.
Yeah.
The greed is too much. It's too much. They have all of this so you can remain above everybody else. Why would you want to see your people hungry?
Yeah.
And impoverished? This has been going on way too long. Enough of anything is enough.
Very true. Very true.
I don't know why he won't bring back that unalive policy. Just get rid of them.
Yeah, exactly. And just on that point, Ibrahim Traore said it. He said, look, we are fighting for our people. We are making sure that the things that they need on their table, getting the food on the table, having hospital care, having roads, water, light, having the basics is what we are here for. And we do not, the system of democracy is a threat to any development of Africa. That is the plain fact. So when others come and start talking to us about, Africa doesn't want democracy, it is not. For 50, 60, 70 years, like my brother said, it hasn't worked. And it is there to enslave us, and we say no to it, whether you agree with it or not. The point is this: Africans we are making our decision, and we don't have to abide by something that is actually enslaving us. There's been no development in Africa. In Africa. None. Somebody wanted to join me.
I want to quickly say this.
Yes, go ahead.
When they try to come with this illusion of democracy, you point out Cameroon to them. You point out Uganda to them. They call it democracy. The leaders of those two countries I just mentioned have been in power for more than 30 years.
Yeah.
And what is the development level or rate of those nations? It's zero. There is nothing to write home about it. Then you point out Nigeria to them. What is in Nigeria? I'm in Nigeria. I grew up in Nigeria. What is there?
There you go.
Compared to what I saw in other places, and you call it democracy. My prayer still is that my people should wake up and grow out of this illusion of democracy. Yes, they are maintaining the system because it benefits a few of them who the puppeteers are using as
Indeed.
And those ones, they give little peanuts to their agents, and their agent is helping them to sustain the devilish impoverished system they are using to suppress Africa.
Indeed, indeed.
That is just what is happening.
Well said, well said. And I agree with you. And the more, many of us are waking up now. People are realizing it. You see, the veil, we are lifting the veil off our own eyes ourselves, you know, and that is the reality, and someone is saying that I don't care. You guys can call it socialism if you want to call it. The thing is, our people are sovereign. You can call it socialism if you want.
People over there in YouTube, I want to say different types of government, because at this time we know that from the 1800s it was a takeover by the oppressor. After the oppressor came in and forcefully took over the entire continent, people, some of them didn't know they were slaves, were told they had to pay taxes. Pay taxes for what? To who and for what? If I pay taxes to you and you help me out in some way, but I'm paying taxes to you and you taking my money to your house and you fixing your house up, and I'm over here just working and digging up my resources and giving it to you. Why? Because you're not doing anything for me. Exactly. So I want to talk about, especially for these people in YouTube land,
Please
these
tell them.
Agents, these trolls, about the different types of government. There's the monarchy, where there's one person like a king. There's the democracy, where people have a say. There's the oligarchy, where a few people rule. And then there's a dictatorship, where one person has absolute power. And then there's that theocracy thing that's ruled by, religious people.
Yeah.
Now, of all these different forms of government, before the oppressor came and forcefully put all this stuff on people, put religion on them, dividing the country up the way they wanted to, telling you how to run it, because people were living before they got there.
Exactly.
They were doing just fine without help from, I keep calling them oppressors, because they did not come to help anybody.
No way.
Whenever they come to help themselves. So for those people over there on the other side who are probably benefiting from this, they should be rich by now. It's time for a change of power. So I don't care whether it's democracy. I just think Africa has to do whatever works.
Exactly.
And again, I say, people are not just going to hand it back over to you. It's going to have to be taken. So one good military leader should run this whole continent. I'm all for it.
Exactly.
You have a president of the continent.
Well said. Well said. Thank you very much.
Take it over, Ibrahim. Hurry up.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Linda.
Come home.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Definitely. Thank you for that. Thank you. Well said. And that's what we're saying. So whether those of you who are on the YouTube that saying that we don't want to have a discussion, or you don't believe that we're having the proper discussion, no, we're telling you what is going on and we're supporting what's going on. So and we're not going to talk about an imaginary system. We're telling you what is happening on ground. There is development happening in Burkina Faso. They are building roads, water, light, school, bridges, healthcare, safety, security, which is what we need. Anything else that you're saying is simply off topic. But hey, we leave that to you. So let's go to Mama Africa. Welcome and thank you for waiting. Then we'll go to Beloved Human. Mama Africa, welcome. What would you like to say? Let's hear from you. Greetings. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
You're very welcome.
Make it short because I don't have much to say.
Go ahead.
I agree with all what you guys are saying. Yeah. Democracy is a scam. Democracy is a very, very big scam in Africa. If democracy would have helped Africa, these Westerners wouldn't have bring it to Africa in the first place. Thank you. So
wow. Well said.
Those who are asking what is the...
Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay.
Those who are asking what is the new system we are going to use to replace democracy, for me, I would say dictatorship. Dictatorship is the best now that Africa needs, because Africa has been destroyed too deep to the root that we need one leader like Ibrahim Traoré, the hope that we have now, he should be in power.
Oh, that's
I'll be
nice,
back. I'll be
lovely.
back.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's lovely to. I love hearing kids in the background when the moms are talking. It just shows that the natural nature of things and how it should be. So I don't take any offense at all. It's absolutely lovely. We love that. It's fantastic.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I can continue.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Like I was saying, we need dictatorship in Africa, but we don't need people like Paul Biya and those democratic dictators. We need people like Ibrahim Traoré who puts their people first, because election every 4 years hasn't done anything good for us, Africa. So if we have somebody like Ibrahim Traoré, is the best. And I also said that we should try to patronize the products that Ibrahim Traoré is producing in Burkina Faso. When other African countries see that they are producing and other countries are buying it, like trade among ourselves, and the country is progressing, other Africans will see what the Sahel is doing and we will copy them. That's all I want to say. Democracy is a scam. And there are some people saying that we have freedom of speech because of democracy. If I live in a country that don't have freedom of speech, but they put me first, give me hospital, give me road, give me everything I need, I'm okay, I'll be quiet. I don't need freedom of speech.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah,
wow. Well said, Mama Africa. Wow, I'm really glad that you said that.
Yeah,
and we need to.
I want to say more, but my daughter is
That's okay. That's okay. It's lovely. We love hearing her in the background. It's wonderful. It just shows the way you. And thank you for sharing that with us. It is something. Look, this is part of who we are, and we embrace it. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for your comments. We love it. It is fantastic. And we need to,
that freedom of speech thing.
Go ahead quickly. I need to bring beloved human, but go ahead.
Speech, as far as I know, everybody doesn't have freedom of speech on the continent. When Nigerians protest, when Kenyans protest, they are met with military force. So how can you say you are for the people, by the people, and freedom of speech when you won't even let the people talk? So I don't know what they're doing, but that's not right. And it's definitely not democracy. So whatever system is going on there, that the fake democracy, it's not working. So the big picture is, forget about who's doing what elsewhere. What works in Africa for Africans? Because I'm an African stuck over here in America. And I want to go home.
Awesome. That is what I call, as you Americans call it, real talk. That is real talk right there. Real talk. That is not, it's not faffling about, it's not, coaching. We're talking real talk. Oh, sorry. Yeah. That is what I call real talk. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. That is real talk right there. We are talking about a system that is not working in the African continent. The democracy, whether you like it or not, is not working on the African continent. We cannot continue to be using the same system that is not working and tell us, oh, I believe in the system, I believe in the system, and our people are being unalived, are impoverished. NGOs are looting from us. The military bases are looting. The contracts are looting. Everybody, it is a looting spree. The entire democratic system as operated on the African continent is a looting spree, and it has got to stop. And you saw, as soon as Mali put a stop to Canada, even Canada was coming to Mali to loot the gold from Mali. I mean, oh, Canada is harmless. No, but when they were asking, they're still asking the Canadian company to pay billions in taxes, back taxes for over the years. They've been taking 80% of the profit of gold in Mali and keeping it. And they've not paid the people of Mali. And you're talking to us about that democracy. What kind of democracy is that? And then you say, oh, you blame the leaders. But the leaders are the puppets put in by by the colonials. So we are saying the whole system, when this is not even the entire system, the financial structure, if look at it, how is it that you can buy my resources at 70 cents in the euro, and then you go and make a profit of 200, and then you tell us we have to keep it in the same system? That's nonsense. That is banal. That's kind of crazy, crazy talk. So we're not having that. So what we are saying, as far as Africans is concerned, I guess maybe some people are very happy to see Africa to remain impoverished despite our resources, and then say, oh, they can't help themselves, to fit their narrative. But we're not playing that game anymore. No. We're playing chess. You can keep on playing checkers, but we're playing chess right now. So thank you very much. So we're gonna cap. I guess I'm gonna let me speak to beloved human. You've been waiting for a while. Let's hear from you. Then I'll start getting back to them. I'll be rounding up soon, but let me hear from beloved human. Go ahead. Let's hear from you. Thank you very much, my brother.
Greetings to everybody. My greetings to each and everyone.
Yeah, greetings.
It has been a while.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm very honored to meet you once again.
Thank you.
Everybody, someone here this afternoon.
Yes.
Anyway, as you know, my stand.
Yes.
I'm a clear anti-democrat. Based on the philosophies.
Would you mind changing from where you are? There's a noise. There's a noise behind.
Democracy that we are.
There's a noise behind you. I can. It's interfering. Can you move to another room? There's a noise.
Yes.
It's distracting from what you're trying to say. We're trying to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes. Go ahead. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. As I said earlier on, I'm anti-democrat, and looking at the way democracy has impoverished Africans, and still we are being impoverished. It takes the few elect ones who are benefiting from the mess that we find ourselves in the name of democracy. Simple because it favors the oppressor. Can you hear me? It favors the oppressor so that they can milk us once again. And this is what we are going through as an African. So a time has come for us to shine our eyes to understand that no one will fix our problems for us until we fix our own problem. We cannot use the theory of America or Finland or UK to solve our problems. What works in America does not work in Africa. So let us cherish what we have and do well with it.
Wow. Thank you.
As I'm saying,
yeah,
it is very clear that democracy cannot help Africa today, neither tomorrow or the future. Simple because democracy is a basis for the oppressor to get roots and stand firmly to operate whenever and wherever he wants. So it takes open-minded individuals to understand the vision behind the progress of Africa if we only do away with the so-called the demon rule. That is democracy. That demon rule favors the few, whilst masses suffers most. The demon rule, as it is being said, democracy, it is mainly meant for the developed nations or developed world. Thus, in a capitalist society, democracy favors them. But in a developing nation like Africa, democracy almost always suppresses the few, or the masses rather, because the masses are the ones who feel the heat.
Exactly.
Whilst the capitalists enjoy most. So democracy in itself is not helpful today, neither tomorrow, because when you look at it critically, you could see the mess that we have endeavored ourselves in since time of memorial.
Exactly.
Because no African nation practicing democracy have developed. Let's be honest ourselves. Where in Africa that we say this is a democratic nation that has developed to the fullest? None.
Exactly.
Because the situation we find ourselves, we need a radical approach to tackle issues once and for all. We don't have to do experiments with our future and the unborn children that are coming, because minerals are perishable.
Yeah.
Are renewable, because when you look at it, you may think that the resource you have is in abundance, so it cannot get finished. Believe me, those that exploiting you, they also have some, but they are reserving theirs. What's tapping on your own?
There you go.
To get it.
There you go.
Finished, then they will sell yes to you on a higher cost.
There you go.
Where you cannot even afford to what? To purchase or patronize. Look at the situation Ghana is confronted with today.
You see?
Most of the water bodies have been polluted. And parliamentarians, the ministers are importing water. What a mess are we living in?
Wow.
How greedy are we?
So
That is why
hang on. So you mean you are importing water is being imported to Ghana right now?
it's been imported. It's been imported since the time of Akufo-Addo up to date.
Wow.
The parliamentarians are importing water because the water bodies are being polluted by galamsey. That is the illegal mining with the cyanide. And
I got a question.
Yeah, you can ask.
Go ahead.
Isn't Ghana, don't they have access to the water? Why would you be importing water? Who okayed the pollution of the water?
That is why I'm saying that. It is because democracy have paved the way for the oppressor to come in and
democracy did it?
Democracy did it because that's the rule of law.
Your leader did that.
Yeah, because the rule of law give them the way out. Those licenses that are being issued to the Chinese men.
Give me a minute. Carry on. I'll be back 1 second.
It's all about rule of law. You sign document before that land will be given out for you. That concession will be given out to you. In as far as you have something to bribe, you are good to go.
Okay, so the water got polluted so that the leader could benefit as well as the oppressor.
Yeah,
they don't care about the people.
They don't care about the lives of the people. What they care is the money they are getting. That's all that they care. That's the main motive of the politicians. Let me say it that way. Because for the politicians, regardless of the harm that their own people are going through, they don't care. They don't have the sympathy for them. Okay, they don't have that passion for them, for humanity. They don't have that one. All they care is to get the money. Okay, so the Chinese bring in the champan machine, those illegal materials. It passes through the harbor. Who are those there? Is it not the politicians who are in charge of all these things? You understand? So in a democratic nation, nonsense are being entertained. Okay? In a democratic nation, nonsense, corruption are being entertained. You understand? When such a person is being caught guilty, because of it is rule of law, the law will favor the person in as far as he have fat money to pay his way out. It's well to go. You understand? So we need a radical approach in fixing our problems as Africans. This is the problem we are facing with. So the problem that we can deal with this kind of structure, we have to adapt a structure that best suits our interests, not this kind of Western democracy. No, that will work with us.
Thank you so much.
The mentality of Africa needs a solution that fits the mentality of Africans, so that we can deal with it accordingly.
Absolutely.
Like what the three wise men are doing here in the Sahel States. These three wise men are the doors to civilization of African unity. They are the gateway to civilization in Africa. If they don't know, they should learn from them.
Exactly.
They are opening the eyes of the rest of Africa. So we have to learn from them.
Absolutely.
And get our total freedom. The freedom that we want is start from the Sahelians. Because we are being caged, time of pneumonia, and today we are being caged again. The time has come for us to open our eyes well and fight for what is right for us, and beware of the enemy, the way he manipulates, how he manipulates, when he manipulates. We should beware and be able to tackle that enemy and deal with that enemy accordingly. We should not allow ourselves to be used by the enemy. This is my question to every African. We should not allow ourselves for the enemy to use us to manipulate us. Let's love ourselves, cherish our leaders who are doing good for us.
Well said. Thank you so much, beloved human. Wow, you spoke a lot there. Thank you so much. And everything you said is on point. And we agree. We need a radical change. And that radical change means we need to look at that system of democracy that has been we force-fed to do for 70 years, and Africa is actually underdeveloping. Until now, when you start seeing things. Mama Africa, go ahead and ask a question, please. Go ahead. You are going to ask a question, Mama Africa. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. I heard that Burkina Faso has discovered oil. I don't know if that is true.
Yes, it is. 50 billion. 50 billion barrels of oil. Yes.
Okay, we thank God.
Yes.
I also heard that it's the Russian company who discovered this oil. So I'm asking myself, I've been hearing a lot of people saying that we can't trust these Russian people. They are there for the oil, this and this, that and that. I'm asking myself that, can we trust the Russians who are there to like mutual benefit, help us to not try to cheat us like what the Westerners are doing? Can we trust them with this new oil that is found? This is my question in my head.
Good question. Good question. And it'll be something that many people will be asking. People will say, and those who obviously don't want us, who want to remain in democracy will say, oh, don't trust the Russians, don't trust the Russians. But I want to ask you a question. Do you think the French didn't know about this oil already in Burkina Faso? And they've been hiding it? Do you think? Because
I'm very sure.
Yeah.
I'm very sure they know about it.
Thank you. So the reason why they kept creating, that is why they are creating wars. They've been creating wars in those areas so that they would distract the people while they're looting the resources. Now that has stopped, you can see what we're finding. And there's more resources to be found. There's yet more resources to be found in, all over Africa and in so many places. In Kenya, for example, do you know they've got some reserves, central reserve parks, where there's so much resources in there that Kenyans don't know. The same thing this is happening all over Africa. We need a mental revolution across the whole of Africa. I'm not talking about physical fights. I'm talking about revolution mentally for us to connect with our soil. These religions of Islam and Christianity, they make us connect to something that is outside of what we can see or feel. And then by doing that, they take our minds away while they allow them to loot our resources. We need to put a stop to that. Our people need to go back to farming. Farming. Look, in the UK here or in Europe, farmers they earn a lot of money. And I applaud the farmers. I applaud them. But do you know how they earn the money in Europe? A lot of the farmers get subsidized. So if a farmer loses his crop due to bad weather or something, guess what? They are paid for the value of whatever they lose.
Exactly.
They are paid. But when it comes to Africa, these same people, this is where you know that democracy is such a punitive thing. When it comes to Africa, one of the conditions that the IMF and World Bank will put to the African government is that you cannot pay your farmers. So what is democratic in that process? Please, somebody explain that to me.
You cannot.
Can somebody explain that to me? So when we talk about democracy, and you spin, we have to be democratic, what do you mean? You mean democratic to suit those who are looting from us and extracting from us? Is that what you're saying? Because that's a kind of that's a cray talk, So very good point, Mama Africa. I actually happen to think, please, let's be very clear. If they find the resources, they are entitled to get some kind of benefit. And I know for a fact that Ibrahim Traore will say, okay, we will pay you for finding it, a certain amount. But it's not going to be a question of whereby they are taking 80%. France is taking they're taking 99.99% of the uranium in Niger for 70 cents in the euro for 40 years. For 40 years. And then you're not going to say, oh, Russia is not interested. Russia wants to do a like-for-like trade. And Russia also knows that it is to have a better world, you need a more fairer system. And that is why they believe in trading with people's currency, tying it to the resources beneath their feet. But the Western world don't want that because they don't have that much. But and we're not saying that you cannot trade, an arrangement cannot be reached with you. But when you are now doing a winner-takes-all mentality, democracy is about winner-takes-all mentality. I win, I take. You have no say. That is what democracy is about on the African continent. That's why we are saying this is not a system that is viable or sustainable. Our lives, the lives of our people have been rendered worthless by a system that is not of our own choosing, that has been imposed on our people for generations upon generations upon generations upon generations, and we're saying no more. And that is why we support Ibrahim Traore. Please go ahead. I'll bring in African revolution quickly. Then, but go ahead quickly.
When you have allies because a revolution is going on.
Mm-hmm.
People are going from the system of stealing
Mm-hmm.
into self-sufficiency.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so it's a revolution that's going on.
Yeah.
And because when you look at all the other nations of the world, nobody is standalone.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
Mm-hmm.
has allies.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to work with
That's it.
who is fair with
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Russia is just not there to plunder and pillage as the French have done, as U.S.
40,
has done,
50 years
as UK
straight.
has. They're not there for that. They've already shown that. So if they're there to help, and they have helped by providing protection, number one, because protection is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
To help with the military force because it's needed. Africa is one of the richest continents on the planet.
Ban on.
And everybody has been scrambling for it for years. Now that they say, okay, that's enough, they will need allies. It's a huge continent as well.
Exactly.
So having China and having Russia to say, we will back you. I will help you. Even if there's something in it for me or not, I will help you.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with helping those who help you? You cannot do this by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I well said, Linda. And one thing I want to say is that we will need what Ibrahim Traore is doing is that all of the jobs that are going to be created now, in all the areas, 90% of it is going to be, in fact, all of it will be home-based, and that will mean that there's a transfer of knowledge, transfer of skills, so that we become self-reliant going forward. We're talking 5-10 years time. This is the kind of plan and vision that we have. This is a man that, that the uniform now, the uniform that the military are wearing in Burkina Faso, they are being made in Burkina Faso. It's not by somewhere else. The judges are wearing the caps made in Burkina Faso. So this is all about psychologically switching our people on to be proud of who we are, to be proud of our language, our culture, our food, our clothes, our ways, everything about us. It doesn't mean that you are hating anybody else or you dislike somebody. It's just being proud, self-pride, restoring our self-pride and our dignity above all. And in that dignity, we will stop this. It would cut out those leaders that are puppets selling us out all the time and undermining the very system that is actually oppressing our people. Undermining the very plans that we have in place to make sure that we come out of this enslavement and exploitation that has been going on. It is happening all over Africa. I keep stating it. We need to have the closure of all the Western military bases on the African continent, because they are nothing more than areas of exploitation where the military go in and take resources and then nobody's asking them questions. Because in all of those states where the military bases are, not one of them is able to go into those bases to inspect the base to find out what they're in there. In fact, they say down that the base is a U.S. land. You have no right to go into it. We can do whatever we want. We can harm your people once they come into that base. Nothing you can do. That is an American soil. That is UK soil. That is French soil. And who benefits from that? Certainly not the Africans, not we the Africans. So we are saying this when we're talking about this. I hope the message that I'm trying to put out here is that we have to be very clear. This is not about trying to hit anything. It's about standing up for our rights on our own continent, and we have every right to do so. I wouldn't stop any European standing up for their rights in Europe. No European should stop any African from standing up for their rights on the African continent. That is an immovable point for me. That is it's not even a debate. That's what's going to happen. So let me quickly go to African Revolution. Thank you for waiting, and I'll go back to Pana. Go ahead. African Revolution, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, I just wanted to add some two quick contributions because I'm following, but actually I'm working. So
fantastic.
Even if remote working, but
Yeah.
It seems that I have a little time left here.
Okay, go ahead.
And, first of all, I wanted to finish what I was saying about what political system to adopt, which is my suggestion, as we all agree here that democracy definitely doesn't work. And it is like you have a bunch of keys, and you want to open a door. If you try it with the first key and it doesn't work, you move on to the next key in the bunch. So this democracy didn't work. Just go and find something else.
Thank you.
And I think that it is possible to do so and keep also people's participation, adopting a system like, okay, as I began to say, vote for electoral programs and not for candidates. You don't even know who is the candidate behind the electoral program. You have to stick to the program. So it is the only thing that you have to judge.
Exactly.
Everything else is just corollary. It's not really the issue.
Exactly.
And once an electoral program is chosen, that administration will go in power and has to apply it. I mean that all the people involved have to have their bank accounts transparent and at the disposal not just of the magistrate and the lawmakers, but also to the people. I will see their bank accounts online to see every variation and the explanation for every variation. And also they have to stick to the point. They have what they have promised. They have to do so. And I would suggest something like a review period or review check sessions. It would be once a year, once every 5 years, once a month. You choose, where the people will see the result and they can judge it, even by constitution.
So you want
administration doesn't meet the.
You want a periodic review.
Yes, a periodic review.
Okay.
By the even by the people, but also I see that if they don't stick to the program, they should or given one bonus or just move away, go back home. And maybe it would better a period like a 5 years, so you have to the time available to fulfill your goals. But once that review is didn't meet your own self-imposed criteria, you have to move away.
Exactly.
And give another administration the opportunity to do something. And or even if at the end of the period, I don't know if it is maybe the people who have to choose, or maybe an institution that we have to set up to check these things. And at the end of a period, which should be something like 5 or even 10 years of administration. And then the people will vote if that the same administration would now state its follow-up plans. Other administrations will make their own plans, and the people will choose again a new vote, and so on and so on. That should be, in my opinion, a solution that will guarantee stability, respect for the people, people's will and people's interests, and also a transparent one. Everyone has to have his bank account open for the public, and I will even double down and see that I advocate the penalty for corruption, both for the giver and for the receiver, at least above a certain level. And anyway, harsh punishment of corruption wholesale. This is what I advocate for, a way to govern our countries, going over the democracy.
Thank you.
And I also wanted to add something about the Russians, because I understand the geopolitics in a way, and this is the only way that you can understand geopolitics, is just by looking at the interests. So as long as the Russians will have common interests with us, and in a time period, or at least up to now, in the recent years, they have the common interest in dismantling the Western imposed colonial system. Because for them, it will be damaging for their enemy, who is engaged in active war against them in the battlefields of Ukraine. They have imposed sanctions and all of that. So they have interest to also damage their enemy, and the way you can make the biggest damage, so to hit where it really hurts, is going to Africa and remove their tentacles from Africa. Because once they are denied of the control of Africa, they will be way powerless than what they are now. That said, of course, we have to also always to keep our eyes open and consider any strategic alliance with foreign superpowers as temporary. We can't think that it will be last indefinitely.
No.
Because geopolitics can change, and during the recent months, since the beginning of this year, have demonstrated that how geopolitics can change dramatically in the fortnight. I'm very worried about the talks about the USA and Russia to end the war in Ukraine, because we can see also that Russia has interest in ending that war, because it is a drain in both his military, who get unalived, of course, in the battlefields, and also in their economy. They have to put a huge amount of money into this in this war.
Exactly.
And so it is in their interest to end it, maybe to remove sanctions and be freer to trade with the rest of the world. And so I don't want that the Russians maybe will consider an hypothetical USA offer to what about removing your protection to these AES guys, and in exchange I will give you something else. I don't know, whatever it would be in the interest of the Russians, and it will be a death blow to us. So we this is the reason that I am I have kept my eyes very open both on the Russians and the Chinese also. But the Chinese, we have to remember that they are the greatest beneficiaries of rare earth minerals that are extracted from Africa. They are the largest manufacturers of anything electronic.
Very good point.
The factory of the world.
Very good point.
Mostly it ends up there. Even what is happening in the DRC.
Very good point. Very good point. Yes,
the
I've
DRC
heard
had a lot of mine deals with the Chinese, and I think that the whole mayhem that is happening there is just a maneuver by the Westerners, USA on top, to deny Chinese access to those rare minerals. First, they tried with the M23, supported by Kagame, to get ownership of land with important mines. M23 captured the largest coltan mine in the world, in Rubaya, for example. This is all denied to the Chinese now. And now that the Kagame regime is exposed, everyone has exposed him how he is invading basically another sovereign country, and they have to keep their facade of moral superiority. So now what I see is a move, and this is I see that you also made a video about that, that mineral deal that Tshisekedi wants to do with Trump, for example. It will be the end of this process, because now that they ousted the Chinese out of the important coltan mines, now through the DRC government, on the basis that the DRC government seeks for security and protection, military aid, and it will be Tshisekedi themselves that contacted the Trump administration. So this is a whole design in order to make deals and force Tshisekedi to cancel his deals with Chinese mining companies in order that the Westerners will
get back in again.
This is the whole game. And they already envisioned that long time ago, because they already made investments about that with the Lobito corridor. The railway that will link Lobito in Angola to
Biden signed it, didn't he? He came to sign it, didn't he? He did, just before he left.
The last trip he made abroad.
Yes, he did.
It was in Angola for that.
He did. Yes, I recall. Yes, the Lobito construction. Yes, well said. Very good point, actually. Yeah, carry on.
And that's so. This is my point about geopolitics and how to consider alliances, because of course we do not live in a void. We live in a world, so there are other continents, other superpowers, other people, and we have to deal with them all. And so forming strategic alliances is also important, since the state that we are beginning now, which means from the bottom of the ladder of the global hierarchy. And we have to be skillful, and I think that the AES is also doing a good job in that, because People say that AES are just anti-Westerners and pro-Russians, but actually they are working with both the Westerners and the Russians and the Iranian and the North Koreans. They just are no longer limited to work only with the West, as it is imposed by the colonial contracts, but they want to deal with everyone. And by doing this, you can use your leverage given by your ownership of the resources. This is why nationalization is important, because, for example, if the Russians wants to come in, they will try to offer something better than what you already are receiving from the West. And now, if I don't know, the Brazilians want to have something, or they will try to offer something better than the Russians. And then there will come the Chinese, the Indonesians, the Arabs, the Europeans themselves, to try to offer something better. This would be an escalation in order to achieve what are your goals. The important is to have that strategic mindset and to have clear goals. And these clear goals could not be anything else than full sovereignty in food production, energy, technology, finance, and at the end, the military. This is what my contribution. Fortunately, no calls arrived.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. My brother, I'm so glad. Wow, you said a lot there. I like the way you came into initially discussing on the African continent and how the interactions between the various AES and the political structure that's going on there, and then you now talked about the Russia interaction with Africa and the benefit of resources. And then you now talk about the interest between Russia and America and how that is actually playing out, and they will be looking out for interest and the need for Africa to understand that we have to actually be strategic in our move and keeping our options open, which is what the AES are doing. This is the kind of discussion that we need to have, among ourselves as Africans, preparing the table, as it were. Tshisekedi is being boxed in a corner by both sides. And like you said, the thing you said that I want us all to really understand is that we need to be very aware that the Chinese will be out for their own interest, and that is so important in everything you said. But we need to stand up ourselves, and AES are showing us exactly how to do that. So thank you so much for that. Somebody hasn't spoken for a while. Pro-African, give me 1 second, please. Let me quickly. Panaf wanted to say something because he's been waiting for a while. Then I'll come back to you. Beloved, I'll come back to you also. Panaf, go ahead. Do you want to say something before I bring Pro-African? Panaf, are you there? Okay, maybe. Panaf, can you hear me? Panaf, are you okay? All right, beloved human, you were there as well before. Then since Panaf is not around, beloved. Oh, okay, he's gone off. Okay, let's go back to Pro-African. Okay, go ahead. You want to? I'll let you speak. Pro-African, go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
According to what Africa Revolution was saying, I think a lot of points there on the geopolitical thing. I've been also paying a close attention to it, and I think our ancestors and nature is working in the favor of Africa right now. You see, from now till the next 20 years, we have the right time and the opportunity to take Africa to the next level. You see, on geopolitical space, they are never going to be having a common alliance anymore. Because you see now, America is interested in Greenland, which is also going to bring them into an altercation with EU. Then you look at Russia's interest. Until now, them and America, they are not finding a common ground when it comes to the Ukraine issue.
No.
Russia has already found a different strategy in dealing with them, which is through China and Africa, which I know Russia will never let that slip off their hands, because the kind of conditions they are offering, those guys are not willing to submit to it. And even if America is willing, Europe are not willing, which is the EU, because the thing will dismantle them the most. They will not be the losers in it, and it will actually demolish and destroy the hegemony they'll be having on Africa and the rest of the world, and which they wouldn't allow that. That is why you see, even when America has refused to back them, France, Germany and UK, British, has put it upon themselves to continue with the same crisis that is going on between Russia and Ukraine. And by the grace of God and what nature and our ancestors are doing for us, this thing is not ending anytime soon. And it is for the betterment of Africa. We should also be careful, like it said, in switching alliances and work with whatever that is of our own interest, because at the end of the day, everybody is working for their own interest. And we also like the way Russia deviated fast by trying to crumble the installment of France in Africa, which is also now helping Africa to develop fast. And it also exposes France in a very large extent for us to now see that they are actually the people behind the insecurity in the Sahel region. Because since they've left, we could see that the insecurity situation is getting better every day by day. It is improving, and that is what we'll be yearning for. And we know that everything is still going to work for us, for our interest. Because look at America and China, on the other hand, the way they are bombarding each other now with tariffs and trade wars. Nothing is ending anytime soon for them. It is our time. And the more they have issues among themselves, the better for us Africans to develop fast. And so it will be, from now till the next 20, 30 years, the way I see things, they're never going to have a common ground again. And it's going to remain so. Because it is our time. Nature will definitely has risen on our favor. The light has shined to Africa, and nothing can put that light away again, because they will never have a common ground anymore.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Say something real quick about alliance.
Yes, thank you very much for that, my brother. I think it's Pro African who spoke just now. I appreciate that. Yes. Okay, go ahead, Linda. Go ahead.
Alliance. The Sahel states. I'm going to stick to Africa.
Yeah.
I'm not going to run around all over the place with what other countries are doing, because I don't care. I care about one, so I can stay focused. The Sahel states are doing everything they need to do, including alliances. They need to be competitive. They know they have natural resources, and they're taking them over. Taking them over means they're not going straight back to the oppressor for pennies on the dollar. You can sell your own resources now, and you can sell them at a fair price. The key word here is equitable. Whatever country in this whole world that wants to be fair is who they should be dealing with.
Indeed.
Everyone has to be cautious. Yes, everybody is trying to do the best they can for themselves, but as long as we can talk this thing out, you're willing to be fair, you're going to do a fair trade with me, then we should be able to work together. None of this stuff about, I don't want nobody, I'm just going to do this by myself. No, you're going to need allies, and they need to be fair. Because in the past, there was no fairness. It was not equitable. It was lopsided. It was going to, I keep on calling them what it is. It was going to the thief. And now the thief has been kicked out, and people, the Sahel states, I ain't gonna say people, because the others, they still in a bad place. And they still making bad deals. I don't know whether they're being forced or not, but they do have a choice about joining the Sahel states at this time. And yes, it is still a revolution, and we're going to need help from others in one way or the other. Maybe not necessarily be with money or resources. Maybe it's just keep a line of communication open. But as long as it is equitable, be fair with me. That's it. Be fair with me.
The thing,
and we can get along.
Yeah, well said.
All that stealing stuff.
Yeah. I think well said, Linda, for that. One of the things that I like about what the Sahels are doing, One of the things that the Sahel states have done, which I like, is that they take their security seriously. So they are in control of their security. They are putting themselves in a situation whereby they have absolute sovereignty over their land at any given point. So be it, air, be it land, be it whatever, whatever it is. In their case, it's mostly air and, of course, land, by sea, because there's no access to the sea to them directly. But they are making sure that those borders, they've got absolute clarity and control over them. Mama Africa, go ahead. You want to say something? Go ahead. Then I'll bring in Pepper Me, I think. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I also think that some of our problems in Africa is that some of the citizens, the ordinary citizens in Africa, we don't know who our true enemies are, and we don't know who is our friends. Because today, if some Africans stand up and say the white man is our problem, the Westerners, they are the people causing all the problems that we are going through in Africa. You will see your own black brother who will stand up against you, saying that the white man is our solution. They bring democracy, they bring us food, clothes, and everything that we need. If it is not for the white man, we will not be on phones today, a whole lot. So I think that's also another problem that we are facing in Africa. We don't know who is our enemy and we don't know who is our friend. We think our leaders we don't even have leaders in Africa. We think our politicians are our problem, but we are not seeing the bigger picture. Who put the presidents there, the Western puppets, who put them there and who is controlling them? We are not trying to find out who is controlling the people that we put in power. They say we voted for them, but that's a lie. We never voted in Africa. Our votes never count. So I think if we are able... Thank you. I think if we are able to identify who our true enemies are, we the normal citizens, then from there we can continue the fight. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for that. That's a very important point to raise, that you raised there, Mama Africa. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Pepper Me. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I think I was echoing.
Okay.
While we do this, can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
While we do this also, what we teach our younger ones also matters in school. I just wish the teachers understand will encourage agriculture instead of this CROS, what do they call it? CROK, Christian religion knowledge, or Islam religion knowledge. I just hope that we encourage agriculture. Now, those Westerners have made us feel like once you say you are studying agriculture in school, you are a poor person. They made us feel that being a farmer is a dirty job. They made us feel being a farmer is just a poor man mentality. Made us leave our lands down to the Western, not knowing that being there in the Western is like being a slave, slave promise. You understand?
Well said.
I just wish that we will encourage agriculture in school now, because that is, with agriculture, everything we need is there. You want to be healed if you're sick, it is there with the help of herbs. You're looking for food, it is there. Anything you want, your clothes and everything, it is there in the family. What we need is on our land, but instead we left our land down to the Western land, where by now it is so difficult for us to even survive.
Well
so
said.
I just feel that we will just encourage agriculture in school now, because with what I am saying, that is the only solution. That is the answer. Thank you.
Pepper Me, thank you so much for that. Well said. You are absolutely right. Agriculture is core, is key. African Revolution said it. The first thing we need to do is be able to secure our food source. Once we secure our food source, everything else falls into place. There's a saying in my language, in Yoruba language, and I'll say it. Wani ebiki wanuki oromi war, which simply means that if you're hungry, you cannot have any other conversation. Your mind is not right. And that is what the West and the system has been designed, has made sure that we are in a state where a permanent state of not being able to feed ourselves. Because then you are not able to think rationally. So this idea is such a brilliant idea, and I thank you for raising that here. This is something that ties into what Ibrahim Traore is doing. Ibrahim Traore, they're growing. They're the third largest. They're the third largest onion producing country in West Africa right now, from a nation that didn't grow anything. Burkina Faso. They're the third largest. They've replaced Senegal. So that tells you that when you have security, this is why I'm saying it on Africa now, our focus should be forget democracy. We don't need democracy right now. We don't. We need security. Africa is not secure. So anybody talking to you about democracy, they are simply trying to distract you from the main problem which you have, which is not the insecurity that pervades virtually all of Africa. And you can see now, with the action of Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso, as we got time Mali General Chiani in Niger, whereby they focused on securing securing the borders and providing security. Guess what? They are now able to start planning, and their first focus after security is, of course, agriculture. Because if you're hungry, you can't do anything. But when you're fed, when you're eating your natural food and you are in control of your food source, now you can begin to develop your economy. Now you can make plans. Now you can build. Now you can project. Now you can visualize, project 10 years ahead, because you can see the stability. You see, for you to have any economy, there has to be stability. And the democracy that they're preaching to us is built on lack of stability. And that is a falsehood right there. Right there. I've just sliced through everything they're doing in the middle of it, because they're telling you believe in democracy. But why? What type of democracy are you believing in when there is no security? When you're not sure whether you're going to survive for the next day. You're not sure who's going to come around to your ground and chase you out and take your land. You end up in the IDP camps. And then they come and say, oh, we're going to help you. And the people who are going to help you, the NGOs, they are working with insurgents in your land. So all of this is a plan. This is all systemic plan that we in Africa, we need to address ourselves. We need to go into groups. We need to, and again, I always advocate that we speak in local language. You see me, I spoke in my language now. You know, when I said Ibiki Wanukoro Miwo, I am very proud of my language. And I believe that is a key to freeing Africa. When we speak in our language on our soil, and we only allow anybody that's going to do any trade with us has to speak our language. If you don't speak your language, my language, I can't trade with you. If you go to Israel, if you don't speak the language, they can't trade with you. So why should I? So why should your NGO is cancer? So why should I, as an African, be speaking a foreign language on my soil? When I'm speaking a foreign language on my soil, and particularly in trade terms, that means I'm giving away my power, and they can do as they please. When I'm speaking my language, they have to come and meet me where I stand, and they have to trade on my terms. So we need our people. We must encourage Africans to be using our local languages to speak, to interact, and above all, we need to encourage trading among ourselves. The trading that you see, trade will going to happen. Whether you have a democracy or not, trade will happen. This is so important. And I want to say that we need to encourage this mental revolution, whereby we're having discussions like this among ourselves in local languages, explaining how people can be involved in the process that is governing them. The people need to be involved in the process that is governing their lives, and let them know that they have the power to make the change. They are sovereigns. So I'm saying that in my local language, and I need you to be comfortable as Africans to know that you speaking to your people in your local language on the ground level and encouraging them to exercise that power is the key to make the fundamental and lasting change that will put an end to this. Very, very important. Yeah, Linda, go ahead.
How many languages are all over the entire continent of Africa?
Too many languages to mention.
All right,
Thousands.
so maybe one language in order to buy, sell, and trade amongst each other. Because
no,
I personally think the borders should be removed.
Linda.
So people can buy, sell, and trade.
Yeah, Linda, I'll just say something. I'll say something. I know this for a fact. In my family, in my extended big family that I have, we traded across. People traded as far as northern Nigeria and even beyond, and between countries. And what was happening is that the language, people spoke the language, but as they got to the border towns, the languages changed and merged, so they were able to interact. So I'm not so worried about that affecting things. No, and of course, people will still. When I say that, it doesn't mean that you throw away your English or French, but it means that the terms of your trading has to be always your language, because that is where you get the control. If you are allowing others to trade with you on your land in their language, they've got control over your land, and they will dictate terms for you. They can determine the price of the goods, which is what is happening to us. So we need that freedom right now, and encouraging trading among ourselves in a local level. Now, of course, you can now say we want an African language down the line that we want to use as
like something that the majority
exactly. But
people of the country speak.
But
and then I want to say about the young lady that was talking about pride, and you too, about pride. Pride is already there. I see more proud people, proud of their culture, their food, their clothes, their language, their everything, as we should be. I say we, and I can't speak nothing but English, but that was forced on me. Nobody gave me a choice. I never heard an African language before I got to this app. So it was stripped away from me, as well as a lot of other cultural things. Which is why I'm in Africa every day, learning a little bit more about my people, the food, the culture, the everything. I am so sorry that this happened, but it's part of the history. It happened to me and many others. But when if the borders are, because right now, I'm really happy that nobody has brought up and went back and forth with a religious thing. Thank you for that.
We don't need that.
Anyhow, because everybody's free to practice whatever they want to practice. My soul is my soul, and I'm the only one going to be held accountable for it. So nobody else has to worry about whatever it is I practice. But when it comes to business, like Burkina Faso has produced so much food. Food is important. How can you let the person who oppressed you feed you? Why would you think they would even want to feed you? They don't care if you starve to death. They don't care. So no need to look to them to undo
what they've done.
They did. It's just not making sense to me.
Very
if I
true.
keep stealing from you and you keep asking me to give it back, I'm not giving you back nothing.
Indeed.
Now,
Indeed.
if you can, you go ahead and you take it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Which is what has happened in the Sahel States.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Taken it. Yeah. A revolution is going on. It's not going to go any other way other than taking it. At this point, there's no need to even worry about what the name of this process is. Just get it done.
Yeah, thank you.
Put them out of your house. Gather up your people, clean up your house, take control of the resources. Stop calling this, this is a democracy. This is cleaning house.
Exactly.
This is taking what's mine. This is a revolution.
Exactly.
This is the end of you coming in and taking my stuff. It doesn't even need a name, but the good name is revolution.
Yeah, absolutely.
It says we've had enough. Open up these borders. You didn't put them there in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
How dare somebody else come in here and split your tribe into two parts, half of you over here, the other half over there.
Exactly.
And telling you can't go over there. You know, the mother and father over here, the sister and brother over there, but we can't go back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
This is
crazy.
ridiculous.
Yeah. No, well
So,
said.
just start calling it what it is. It's
Yeah.
a revolution, and it needs to spread like a wildfire all over the entire continent.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Well said, Linda. Wow, you said quite a lot there. We packed quite a lot in there. And you're right. We need to make sure that our people begin to actually take steps. We don't have to wait for anybody. If you're waiting for anybody to help us, we are all we got. We need to know that we are the cavalry that we're waiting for. We have the power and the means and the way to free ourselves. It's about really doing the, I said it, mental revolution. The revolution has to start in our minds, and then pervade, get into our communities, start having conversations locally on ground to really make us understand the power that we possess as sovereigns on our land. As Africans, every African is a sovereign, and we need to bring those powers together to begin to hold those we are electing to office to account and to impose on them the change that we wish to see. You know, I mean, the work, great that we have men like Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goïta, General Chani. They are showing what they must, they've taken on that responsibility. But where they haven't taken the responsibility, Museveni, and many others I can mention, Biya, Quatare, all of this lot, they are clearly abdicating their responsibilities as servants to the people. We, the sovereigns, must, in our local language, we need to communicate to our people to know those powers. And Ruto, thank you very much, Mama Africa. Many of these people, we need our people to know that they have that power to hold them accountable. And seeing the changes that's happening now in Burkina Faso, in Mali and Niger is making us all wake up. We are at a cusp of something great here. We can really push on with it. But I want to encourage us all to continue to speak to our people in our local language. Let them reiterate the knowledge, that fact that they are sovereigns and they have power over their governance, because ultimately the governance is serving the people. Just like you see Ibrahim Traore serving the people. Everything he does, every sleeping, waking day, he's thinking about the hungry child who's sleeping in the back of the hut without of a hut that's got no doors, without that's thin and hungry and no food. He's thinking about the woman that's pregnant and not be able to give birth. He's thinking about the man that's poor, living in that's been in prison, but now he's giving them skill by farming. He's thinking about solutions. How many of our leaders have got solutions like that in their mind? Like Ibrahim Traore, like Assimi Goïta, like General Chani. How many? These are people coming to solve problems. The leaders who we are in the democracies, they are not solving problems. They're there to keep the problems in place so that the people who are exploiting us can continue to exploit. And that's the key difference. So this is we're going to have more discussions around this. I am supporting the mental revolution. I'm not talking about getting on the streets. I'm talking about getting into the communities, letting them to begin to empower themselves, to begin to say, no, you are serving us. We don't have any road in this community. Why haven't we got it? Every part of Africa, we need to begin to bring our people up to know those kind of things. That's the kind of revolution we need. And of course, when you have good governance, you can see the people of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, they support wholeheartedly those three men, Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goïta, General Chani. The people of Burkina Faso, do you think that they would have found out all of this, uncovered all of this coup if the people were not behind Ibrahim Traore? The people are his eyes and ears because they have confidence in what he's doing and they know that he's working for them. Many of the puppet leaders, they're not working for the people, and that's the way the change has got to come. But this is the fact is, those borders, somebody's talking about borders, those borders, like Linda said, they have to go. We need freedom, free movement of goods and services. And when you have a free movement, believe you me, in the days of our ancestors, there was no poverty on the African continent because people were able to freely move and trade and actually get around and do things, and there was nobody impeding somebody else's agriculture or feeding themselves. But this system that they put in, no, you cannot trade with you can only trade with France, and France will tell you the price on which you're going to trade, or you cannot trade with UK, and UK will tell you the price at which you will trade. These are all things that is divide and rule, and we cannot allow. We will not let this fly anymore on the African continent. But we need to get our people to know their rights in the local language. I'll give you an example of what I mean. I have another platform. It's called Oduduwa TV Radio. On that platform, I only speak. You will not hear me say. You will barely hear me say a word of English. if at all. I'm speaking in Yoruba all the time because we need to pass information to our people to let them know the rights in the local language. Because without knowledge of their rights, they cannot take action that we need them to take. It's awakening their mind. That's why I call it mental revolution. So there's a lot of work that we need to do across the entire African continent to do that. But for now, I'm gonna have a pause now. I want to thank everybody that's been listening to us. Please, those of you watching us on YouTube, don't forget to continue to give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate you. We may have different views and different differing opinions. That's okay. That's the object of a debate, to have a discussion. You may not come to a conclusion, but we will leave it for another time and actually continue. The key thing is to engage in discussions, to be able to come up with cogent solutions collectively that will mutually benefit all of us. Those of us who are on TikTok, I'm really grateful for my family on TikTok for the support and the gifts. Please keep them coming. We would like you to, if you can subscribe to us on TikTok, it would be great. If you can subscribe to us and give us gifts also, become a member on YouTube, that would be great also. We are going for something. You see the man that you see in the picture here, Ibrahim Traore. I would like to go with a group of people to actually go to Burkina Faso and be able to meet him. That's the plan. I want to see.
Speak something before we go?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay, this is what I want everyone to know, please. The fear of death is what is keeping us from revolution. Because everybody is scared of death because we have been taught that with CRS, Islam religion knowledge, that once you die, you go on a judgment, blah, blah. Those are lies. And the Westerners know the truth. They brought those things to us so that we'll be scared of revolution, because whether you like it or not, they will not fold their hands. They will still keep coming for Burkina Faso and the rest. They will keep coming. You will see. They will not fold their hands and wash us like this. They will come for us. But we prepare your mind. But one thing I want you all to know, that death does not exist. We are all energy. Wow. We can neither be created nor destroyed. We will come back once we die. So remove that mentality or scared of death. Okay, because it doesn't exist. Nobody's coming to judge you. It's all in the state of the mind.
Thank you.
That
Well
into
said.
your head, please.
Wow, well said. Wow. Wonderful statement there. I love that. That's fantastic. Let me go to Mandinka Warrior. Sorry, I forgot to. Obed, I'll come back to you. Mandinka Warrior has been waiting. I'll come back to you briefly. Thank you. Hi there.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I saw you there. Good. Thanks. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, my brother, I agree with what you said about Africa. And again, it's all about that unity. And it's also about African, like the people, they have got the power. The power belongs to the people. Okay? Well, as soon as we have that in our mentality, we have that in our mindset, that these people are there to work for us. Okay, we pay for that way. They use taxpayers' money. So their job is to provide for us and to work for us, like Ibrahim Traore is doing in Burkina Faso. He came there within 2 years. Look at what this guy has achieved within 2 years. Citizen care. This guy has achieved amazing. Compared to my country, the Gambia, we have got a president who's been there for 10 years. He hasn't even provided nothing for the people of the Gambia. People are still in poverty. Okay, and people refuse to rise up to say, you know what, enough is enough. Your job is to work for us. But look at this guy in Burkina Faso. Okay, and I urge all African, the continent people to look up to this guy, what he's doing for the people of Burkina Faso. Okay, and as a leader, okay, if you want to succeed, you have to bring the people together. Unity. So what this guy has told the people of Burkina Faso, said, listen, I'm here to work for you guys. We have suffered enough. Come and work with me. I'm here to work with you guys. I'm here to provide for you guys. And look at the people of Burkina Faso. They're actually working for him. They're all behind him. Because he's telling them, you know what, I want you guys here to work with me. Okay? I want you guys to have a better life. But look at what he has achieved within that 2 years. Okay? So the guy has got amazing results. So I tell Africans, please, let's come together. Let's look up to this guy he's doing in Burkina Faso, okay? And African people, you deserve better, okay? We want better, healthcare, okay? Job for our people. But this guy, that's what he's doing in, the people of Faso. So African people, let's come together. Let's have this unity. And, speak up, speak your mind.
Exactly.
It's your right, for the government to work for you, to provide for you, because you pay, end of the day, it's you that spend their, their wages.
Indeed.
They are there to work for you. Have that mentality, have that mindset. These people are actually there to work for us.
Exactly.
But if we, are not ready to actually, speak our mind, that's the reason why these people don't value us. They don't care about us. Like, example, my country, the president doesn't care about our people. He doesn't care about us. The only thing he cares about is his own, how he can actually eat every day and travel all over and, do whatever you like. But he doesn't actually value us. So African, value yourself. Okay, that knowing that these people are there to work for you and they are there to provide for you. And if they don't do the job, speak up. Okay, tell them, I'm sorry. Let's account these people.
You can also kick them. We can kick them out as well. We can kick them out as well by voting.
It's about listen. Freedom. It's not free. Okay, if you want a better life, you need to. I mean, I know the previous, caller was saying that. Okay, people are scared of that. But even Europe, they look at the World War I. They had to go and fight for their freedom. How many people died? Okay, so again, if we want a better life, we need to rise up and fight for our country and our people. Well, thank you very much, Citizen Ewa. You're doing an amazing job. May God bless you. We are behind you. Okay, and you said going to Burkina Faso. Put my name down. I'll go and meet that amazing guy in Burkina Faso. I would love to go and meet him.
Yes.
He's doing an amazing job, and I'll tell him go and take over the Gambia. Take over the Gambia.
Put my name too in the list. I'm going with you people. My bags are ready.
Okay. A lot of us want to go there, and that's good. That's very good.
Yes,
that's very good. Yes. Very fantastic. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mandinka Warrior. Obed, you've been waiting. Let's hear from you as well. Let's go hear from you. Then maybe I'll take one more person and we'll before I wrap up. Obed, are you there? Obed, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Thank you. Welcome, and thank you for waiting as well. Thank you for waiting. What would you like to say?
Thank you very much. I just want to say something briefly. That you see all these problems we have on the continent and as people of African descent is usually coming from the background of identity crisis. Because as Africans, we have lost who we are, the value of who we are. And out of that, someone comes in, tells you your value is this, and then you trade it for whatever they brought on the to the table. You see, so I think it is time we really work on the identity crisis that we have, and then get to know who we are as Africans and value ourselves as such. Because if we don't do this, a time will come, somebody will keep dictating for us who we are, what we should become, and all of that. And secondly, we need to watch out how we receive visitors. It is very, very important, because this is the mistake our forefathers did. They embrace everybody that comes to their doorstep, and out of that, they were taken by surprise into slavery. You see, so I think it is time we get to be very careful about how we deal with people outside the world of Africa, and also begin to be very tactical and more security conscious
Absolutely.
about the continent of Africa.
Exactly.
And it all starts with, also we need to also try as much as people to be more accountable from our own homes. If we can start accountability from our own homes, then we can now hold all the people we put in charge responsible. And then let's stop being scared for standing for the truth. We should be able to stand and speak when it is right. Let's speak that it is right. I think these few things can also help us. That's my few contribution I want to add to today's program.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, my brother Obed. It's been a minute. I appreciate you. And you are very straightforward, and you're absolutely right about the things we need to do. We have this nature of being trusting on things, and I think it's something we have to review. Definitely, we should be following in the footsteps of Ibrahim Traore. He's very welcoming and everything, but you know that he's 10 steps ahead of anybody else in terms of whatever they're trying to do around him. He knows. He's aware of it. That's the kind of mentality that I want us all to actually inculcate in who we are, and make it as a matter of fact that, look, you know, yes, fine, I understand that, but until you show me something else, my position is going to be play safe first. Always play safe. And I think that is something that you know, there's nothing wrong in doing that. We need to inculcate that in our psyche as a community, and look out for each other. So thank you very much for raising that, and the other topics as well that you raised as well. Many to mention at this point, but thank you nonetheless. Thank you so much. Let's go to Cooper Money. What would you like to say? And I think you'll be the last one speaking before I'll draw content on to this program. Cooper Money, you there? Cooper Money, can you? I'm unmuting you. Okay, good. Oh, sorry, unmute yourself now. Oh, sorry, try it again. Can you hear me now, Cooper Money? Unmute yourself. Thank you, Obed. Thank you so much for the gift, and thank you for those who are giving the gift. Cooper Money, can you unmute? Yeah, good.
Yes, I am.
Good, great.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and I do appreciate that. And I've been following your program, very interested, and keep doing the great work you're doing.
Thank you.
I just think unity is the most important part for the continent itself as a whole.
Yes.
You know, the great captain is teaching us and showing us what we need to do for progress in Africa. And I feel all the leaders we have there, those guys, they need to go. We need to create a new system with what the captain is doing.
Absolutely.
In every corner of Africa.
Absolutely.
This is the system we need. Don't let, as the gentleman said before, be careful of who we invite, because they don't have the African, you know, at heart. They don't
Ubuntu. That Ubuntu is not there.
Yes. So, and also, whilst we do that, we never forget our brothers in the Caribbean, because part of the Caribbean as a whole has something to do with the progress and the development of Africa itself.
Yes.
And also from Brazil. So we also, everything we do, we need to include those brothers and sisters.
Without a doubt.
In that part of the world. Okay?
Yeah.
That's only when we will unite. When we include those brothers they took away from Africa.
And Haiti as well.
Yes, definitely. Because he was the blue stone. Like what the captain told us. He was what he did.
Yeah.
So we need to, we never forget unity. But thank you, brother. Keep doing the great work. You know, I appreciate that for coming on board and having a chat with you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. I really appreciate that.
Say something.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This man, I think I complained about him. I think last year to you on your platform, Kofi Ali.
Oh.
He is not giving up.
I know.
He said he has taken the Sahel to ECOWAS court, and he's going to win. And what he's going to do to them, we will be sorry. And he's going to take them out by force. Where were we when they did it to Gaddafi and all those stuff? Sometimes when I go to his platform and I listen to him, I get scared. Then later I come to platforms like yours, and then I get hope again. So I don't know why his account is still up and running. I just want to mention him.
No, listen. You're welcome, and thanks for bringing it. I find it a bit of a laughter. No. Actually, thank you very much. Thank you, Mama Africa. It's not a joke. Look, we have different views. For me, it's not even it's a non-starter. You cannot stop something that the people of those three countries want and are supporting. It's as simple as that. So, good luck with whatever you want to do. I don't even want to have that discussion. I don't want to waste my energy. We need love to build Africa. That love has to unite us to free Africa. When somebody is showing an energy that is not love, stay away from them. Just keep them away. Don't even go on their platform. Focus on the love that we need. We need to raise our vibrations up. If you use hate in this process, it's going to slow us down. Everybody that's got to be on this have got to be willing and seeing we have to see the goal. What's the goal? Unity equals sovereignty equals freedom equals self-determination equals food independence. All of these things. So that the vibration that we want to focus on is on love, loving one another and another. And we've forgotten how to love one another as our ancestors. And my grandma used to tell me the story, and sometimes when I almost get emotional. There was a time in the
Sorry,
villages.
Mr. Citizen, AI, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Sorry, I was talking away. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Thank you, my sister. I just want to say that we're not going to focus on what Kofi, whatever Ali says. Don't waste your energy. We want to raise the vibrations. You see, love raises vibrations. That's what we need. When you get angry, what anger does is it tightens every muscle in your body. When it tightens the muscles in your body, you are slowed down. Everything that you need to do takes twice as long. But when you have vibrations that are raised, everything just happens naturally. You go to the phases and you achieve what you need to do collectively as a community. There is a reason why the sign love. I'll tell you a story about the sign, that love, that sign. See that sign? It's an Adinkra sign. It is an African sign designed by the Adinkra king. They might not tell you this, but this is from Africa. This is from Africa. This is Adinkra king in the place, I think it's Ghana or between Ghana and, I can't remember that, but if you go and type in Adinkra, this is the symbol. Now, this is how we've done things. The Ubuntu and the Adinkra sign, the love sign, is very important to us. We will achieve this unity when we have love. And when we build the love among ourselves. We've fallen out of love of what it means to be African. We all have. And we're trying to learn that. Part of that is to bring our community together. We are community people. We live in large gatherings. That is who we are. So when they talk about democracy and all this, it's dividing up things. That's not what we are. If you go and look at our history as Africans, we live in large gatherings and we all have communities. We are community people. So when you are telling us, to forget this, forget that, you're actually going against self. So we need to really build that back into our societies. Using our languages is really important, the work we're doing here. So everybody that we're living here, please make sure you live with a curiosity about your fellow African, about trying to really buy. The best thing we can do, buy our goods. When you see an African, buy something from them, their business. Make sure you have an African that you're buying one or two things from. Maybe not 1, 2, 3, 4. The more, the merrier, because this is how we're going to build our businesses and things. So, yeah, let me stop for a minute. Go ahead.
Why would anybody tell you to forget who you are? I understand why they did it to me over here in America, because, they had a whole agenda for me to work until I unalive on the job and make them wealthy. But why would somebody come to the continent and tell people, forget who you are? Now, I know a lot of horrible things have happened throughout the past, but I think the most atrocious things that were done by those people, the Europeans that got together for that conference and came in and decided to take all the resources. I don't think no one tribe or nation told anybody else to forget who you are, because it is so important. It's a way of life.
Thank you.
But at this point in life, what is happening in Burkina Faso, especially, the school kids got new uniforms.
Yes.
They are now African uniforms.
Yes.
So the judges have African uniforms. I love them. The wigs are gone. Now, I'm just so proud of them. Removing street names of French folks and stuff like that. So my point here is, I don't think that churchy stuff ought to be taught at school, but children should know about the greatness of those that came before them. It instills pride in them, so that they know who they are, where they came from, how they got in this mess, so they too can contribute to getting out of it and staying out of it and never let it happen again. Because if you don't know what happened in the past, it's bound to happen again.
So true. So true. Wow. Yeah, that statement there, I want to hold on to that. If you don't learn the lesson of the past, you are bound to repeat it again in the future. So much. So much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Linda, our moderator, for that. Thank you for many people who spoke. This thing about fear, I want to just I'll sing Fela's song. And he sings it like this. Fela Nicola Pokuti, great man, ancestor. He sings it. He says, my people say they fear too much. We fear for the thing we no see. We always get reason to fear. We no one die. I get one house. Mama dey for house. Papa dey for house. So policeman go slap your face. You know go talk. Me man go weep. Your yash go they look like donkey. Rhodesia they do their own. I did that they have for nothing. South Africa they do their no. Then leave sorrow, tears and blood. Then regular trademark. Then regular trademark. Then regular trademark. Then leave sorrow. So on and so forth. What am I saying? Fear is just an emotion. We I think it was Mama Africa or Papa Me. The Papa Me said, we are spirit. Spirit never dies, never. And we need to remember that. But so I really want to make sure that we are very, very clear. There's a lot of work for us to do, and I want to make sure that all of us, let's raise our vibrations in our community. You see, when we raise our vibrations, you will be doing something that I mentioned about my grandma. Grandma told me a story when I was growing up, because I would sit next to her when she was, oh man, grandma. Okay, so she tells me that there were times when in the villages, people don't lock doors. In fact, there's no door. There's no doors in the villages. And people leave their wares on the side, and they tell you how much whatever you would each of it will cost. That is so much trust. You see, that is a community that we are so far away from that. We're so far away from that. And we need that. Africa needs that. Africa needs that. And we can only achieve that when we learn to embrace and love who we are as Africans. Love the kink in your hair. Love the color of your skin. Love the taste of the food. Love the clothes, the African clothes that you wear. Love the way the interactions, the community, the community spirit, the building of the trust. All of those are things that are part of who we are. But we've forgotten it. We've forgotten it. And thankfully, this man here, Ibrahim Traoré, salute, is reminding us. He is reminding us, you have forgotten something very important. There is no I in we. We are community-based people, and we must be proud of it. We have to be proud of it. We need to embrace it. We need to build it. That is where the vibration is important. When we operate from a place of anger, nothing is achieved. Even if you're angry about what happened and you operate in that angry manner, you are going to stay at the same place. When we are able to now pull away and learn those lessons from the past, learn it. Because that's what Ibrahim Traoré has done. He's learned the lesson from the past. And he wants to make sure that the coming generation never go through what happened in the past to us. We need to take control. Through love, we're now able to now build. That's the foundation we now build. First we have the love. Once we have the love, put the security. With security, the food source, the independent food source. Now we start building everything that's around it. That's what we need to do. But we need a mental revolution. A mental revolution. It's not about the fight on the streets. It's about the discussions in the communities. In the night, in the afternoon, in the evening, 6, 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, community people coming together, discussing, and okay, this is what we know, this is what we should do, this is our right. Please share the message on. Let's just start looking out for each other. Let's start holding our rights, holding our people accountable. That's the kind of discussion that we need. That's the kind of discussion we need to do. So let's carry on with that. We're not going to end this discussion now. I'm not going to say we're going to end. We're going to come back and continue. There's more areas to cover. And I'm hoping to be able to talk more about the development that's going on in Mali, in terms of coral constructions, in Niger. I mean, we all know what's going on in Burkina Faso. I really think it's a good thing to actually balance that out, and actually we'll have discussions about Mali, because they're doing great work in there. And I salute Assimi Goïta. Also Niger as well, General Chiani, now General, and given I think about 10 more years with the support of the people, so they can carry out and cement the development. So we salute them. So there's more work to do. So I will not say it's goodbye from here. We're going to continue the discussions. But before I go, I want to play off with my song. Please go, if you can, go and download this song on iTunes. It's on iTunes. Let me see if I can actually get it up on here. I'll get it on the page so you can see it in front of you as I'm listening to it and playing it. And I'd like you to download it, because you'll be helping this platform, because we do a lot of research work. And like I said, I'm serious when I say I want to go to Burkina Faso, and actually be able to meet people. And I want to meet. I want to definitely meet Ibrahim Traore and all the great men, and Assimi Goïta and General Chiani. But I want to start off, the first place has got to be Burkina Faso for me. It's really important that we do that. We try and get there, because I just, it's just. It just has to happen. It just has to happen, because we want to show the great man. I mean, imagine just meeting the great man himself, and talking to him and actually saying thank you. I want to just say big thank you. And we want to be able to, and those who are speaking, please, I'd like to actually have me on this. I want to have him on this platform somehow. So if you have contacts that I can do that, fine. I'm speaking to 1 or 2 people, but really, I actually want to be on ground, because Africa is where it's at. But thank you so much. So download this song. It's a single that I have. It's on iTunes right now. You can see it on there. How long will I going to suffer? So I'm going to play with that. So we'll be back and we'll talk some more. I'm not going to say goodbye now. We're going to continue. Thank you for everybody that's donated. Thank you for the super chats and for the gifts on TikTok. Thank you all so very much. It's been a pleasure. I was supposed to be doing something else, but this took time, and it is worth it, because I'm glad that we spent that time together, and I hope we've learned from each other. The message I want to leave us all with as Africans is we need to raise our vibrations, and the only way to raise the vibrations so that in our community is through love, loving each other, reacquainting with ourselves, for remembering our community spirit of the doors, no doors, and in each of the houses that were built, there were open doors, and trust. Build trust and build that community spirit. That's what we need across the whole of Africa. And of course, by doing that, we dissolve the borders, because a lot of the borders that they build is not only on ground, it's also in our mind. We need to dissolve that in our mind as well as Africans. Very, very important. So thank you also very much. We're going to play our way How Long Will Not Going to Suffer, song I wrote. So
Let's go.
yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Sorry. Thank you. Go. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. So thank you so much. So download the song on iTunes, Spotify. Here we go. Huh? Hey. Huh? Me una here. Yes, so. How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long go? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? My people, we don't tire. Inside Nigeria.
I love Monday.com.
What's Monday.com?
You don't know Monday.com?
Where them they call Nigeria, slave camp. Oh, the time done knock where we supposed. Stand up for our rights, whoa. Stand up for our rights, whoa. Oh, the time done knock where we supposed. Stand up, whoa, for our rights, whoa. For self-determination. How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? Huh? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? Oh, how long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? Abdul Salam na fake man. Now he put that constitution for your head, yo. Abdul Salam na fake man. Now military man can't tell una say una get constitution. Na lie, yo, na fake, na fraud, oh. That constitution. Now in then they take close una eye, yo. May una wake up, oh. Moka berenio, I just they wonder. 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 Berenio, I just they wonder. Moka berenio, I just they wonder. Moka berenio, I just they wonder. Moka berenio, I just they wonder. People I want make una know self. Self-determination on I alright yo. People I want make una know self. Self-determination I alright yo. You must fight for your rights. You must stand for your rights. You must get up, stand up. You must tell your people for your village, for your town, for your city, and inside country where you there. Oh, Atiku, Emiloko, Opita Obi no be the solution. Not the solution, not be the solution. Yes, so make una wake up. Make una wake up. Turn down now. You be Yoruba man. You be Biafran. I want make una know say self-determination now your right you. Hey, 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 Yoruba land na your land yo. Middle belt na your land yo. Hausa land na your land yo. Oh, Biafra land na your land yo. No be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria. La, 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 oh. Thank you all so very much. It's been a pleasure having you join me, and thank you for taking the time. Please let's share the message. It's love, love, love. We need to raise the vibrations across the African continent. That is the best way to free ourselves. You see, when there's love, hate cannot win. When there's love, hate cannot win. It can never win. And democracy and all of that is part of that hate thing. We need to build love on the African continent. Let us begin. It is already begun. We support Ibrahim Traore. Thank you so much. You're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. About later on. Thank you and bye for now. Thank you all so much. Thank you for joining. So I will continue. For now, it's bye from here. Thank you and bye for now. Bye all. Bye all. Bye. Bye. Okay. And those of you who are on, thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, of course. Paula, bless you. Of course, yes. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up and share the broadcast. Thank you and bye for now. Bye all. Thank you. Bye.